What's going on, hockey world? It is Beth here from Let's Talk Low Hockey, joined by my co-host, Zach.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
And we have a special guest today. We've got Courtney from Center Ice joining us today so we can talk all things PHF and Blackhawks because, we are all some WoHo fans here. So how are you, Courtney?
Pretty good, except for the fact that it's snowing today in Illinois, but other than that, okay. How are you?
It sounds like a very Western problem to the person in Florida and South Carolina. So that is not something we're familiar with.
71 in sundown here in South Carolina today with a little bit of wind. So it's
36 degrees here in Rockford, Illinois right now.
I'm pretty sure it was in the 80s today, but it did rain. So,
hey, I'll take rain. Rainy days are my favorite days.
I love a rainy day.
The most productive days.
Yes, absolutely.
The most productive for clearing my DVR days.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. Look, it's got to happen every now and then, right?
Or binge watching Netflix, because why not?
Before we started recording, I did start binge watching Princess Diaries and Princess Diaries 2 because I got kind of sucked into like a cheesy rom-com moment.
Hey, it happens. It totally happens. We all have our moods.
I blame Freeform. It started because they had Easy A on, and I love that movie. And then right after Princess Diaries was on, and I took a nap, and I woke up and I was like, "Oh, Princess Diaries!" It was the end of the movie, so now I'm gonna go watch the whole thing.
Hey, don't worry. I watched Disenchantment on Netflix. Wednesday and Thursday, and I watched 4 seasons in about a day and a half. Ooh. So they're only half hour episodes, so it's doable. If you just want to waste about 8 hours of your day. So
it's fine. It's fine. Courtney's like, I just sort hockey cards when I have nothing to do. Just sit on my floor and sort hockey cards.
Pretty much. I watched the Devils somehow lose to the Panthers today, and then I watched Colorado beat the Penguins.
Yeah.
It's safe to say Courtney likes hockey just like the rest of us. So hockey, and more hockey, right?
Currently have the Leafs game on the TV right above my computer.
Courtney has a very confused look right now. If we make this video live on YouTube, I'm not sure if we'll go there, but if we do, we have the option. Courtney is wearing a Rockford Ice Hogs jersey. For those who are listening, her room is blue. She has Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys hanging behind her with red and black sound blocking tiles on the wall. It's a very confusing situation that's going on right now.
Hey, I got a Blackhawks flag and a Carolina Hurricanes flag on my wall in the living room / studio. So we're all here for
my wall of jerseys that are over here.
It just perfectly represents how my brain works.
Yeah, that now signed Allie Monroe Connecticut whale jersey.
You know what? You just want to jump into the PHF, Beth, because
very much so, because I'm still floating on happy Tampa clouds. So
it's like she's gonna lose her mind if she doesn't get to talk about it soon.
She's like that one meme of the dude sitting in the classroom, which is his veins all on his neck, and it's his face is right because don't say it, but it's like
exactly.
So Beth, how was Tampa?
Legitimately the most amazing hockey weekend I have ever experienced. From start to finish, absolutely, hands down, the best. The giveaways were phenomenal. The people were amazing. I got to meet Anya Packer, most of, if not all of, the Connecticut Whale. I got to hang out ice side. If you watched on ESPN Plus, you may have seen me. I got many text messages from Courtney and Zach. They were like, "Oh my God, I just saw you."
Yeah, after a good 4 dozen times. Oh, there it is. There you are. And it's
hey. She's still right there. Look at her.
Taking screenshots and putting emojis next to it. We got a Beth sighting on TV.
There is an autograph screenshot on our Twitter.
Because why not?
Why not? But Friday night they gave away LED tambourines for our audio listeners.
Yeah.
Ouch.
really should give away if you have headphones on, here's a warning.
So that's why I said here you go, audio listers. Super fun. PHF bracelets, but instead of saying Premier Hockey Federation, it says people having fun.
Aw.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
On Monday they gave away these like light up like foam tubey things.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah, so it's super fun. It has 3 different settings, and there were drag queens there on Monday night.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, they were amazing. The sass was real. Ooh, Courtney's got a
Ooh.
light up tube too. Look at her go.
It's an Ice Hogs one.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
met Tyler, the commissioner of the PHF.
That was really cool. Yeah, I saw that photo that you
Like-
posted. That was really cool.
She was amazing. So, fun Tyler story. On Saturday, I actually ended up handing out a lot of these bracelets because the Advent Health Center Ice has a herstory museum, and she was getting a tile in the museum, but she didn't know. Everybody that she worked with knew, and they were like, Tyler, you have a production meeting. We've got to go. You have a production meeting. And she was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And finally, Katie, who runs like their socials and stuff, came over. She was like, I need to get her away from here. Like, this is what's going on. I was like, Tyler, I've got this. Like, I just took the box from her. I was like, I've got this. Like, don't worry. It's fine. Everything's great. You go to your meeting. And then she came back after and she was like, thank you so much. Like, I was like, yeah, she kind of told me what was going on. So I needed to get you on your way.
That's
That's awesome.
hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then I met Elliot from the Heartland group. He is the artist who did like all of the PHF logos for the playoffs. And he helped to design this really cool goalie tender poster, like helped position him and everything.
Super neat.
Super cool dude. Like,
Yeah, he seems really cool. Like he really likes when we like just, you know, fan off on the logos and stuff. Like the neon ice.
oh,
The neon ice was fantastic.
the black light ice was just like next level. I talked to a guy who was on the ice crew on Sunday because I was just like hanging out at the rink, just waiting for hockey because what else was I gonna do? And he was like, yeah, so when they toured the facility, we had this black light ice like on the little like tiny rink that they have. And they saw it and they were like, can we have this? And he was like, yeah, okay. And apparently it took a really long time to do because it's black light paint and it's different than like normal ice paint.
Oh man.
But like pregame, all of the lights in the arena were out and just the black lights were on. And it was gorgeous. It was I used it for one of the featured images for one of the articles that I wrote. Like I took a picture of it when all the lights were out and just the black lights were on. It was so glowy. Like
That's
it
so
was just
neat.
beautiful. But no, it was the best hockey weekend I've ever had in my life.
And the fact you met the entire while and you got your jersey signed too, like
I did.
it's funny, like the fact that the entire team was like, it's Beth. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. So they had an autograph table set up after their game on Sunday. And I went up to get my goalie tender. Well, I didn't have anything for them to sign. I just kind of went up there because I was like, okay, cool. The whaler up here, I'll figure it out. Like I wanted to see if Allie was up there and she wasn't up with the team. And Elliot actually gave me this poster. And he was like, yeah, I'm the artist that like designed all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, we love you. And we got to talking and I went up to get my poster signed. And Emily Fluke saw my tattoo and she was like, oh my God, are you Beth? I'm sorry, what? Oh my God, guys, it's Beth. And the whole table turned around and went, oh my God, it's Beth. And I forgot how to breathe. So that was fun.
That's hilarious. That's so awesome though.
Yeah, and like pictures were taken of my tattoo by the players. They were all like, this is insanely impressive. Like it looks really good.
Yeah.
And breathing was hard. At one point that same day, I was waiting for Allie to come down to sign my jersey. And Anya and Madison Packer walked up while I was staring at my phone. And Anya just goes, that looks way sicker in person. I about jumped out of my skin because I was unaware that there were people coming towards me. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. And it's like, no, it's fine. Thank you. Whoopsies. Like,
Yeah,
I met the whale social media manager too. Apparently an email was sent out when I posted my tattoo on Twitter and they were like, we need to find her. So that felt really special.
Oh man.
And
yeah.
then, yeah, and, you know, fact being Marchment too, of like all people, you know, can he have a season Marchment? Just like, oh yeah, just no bigs. No
It was
bigs.
fine. It was right after Allie signed my jersey. I had my poster. She was like, "Do you want Kennedy to sign it too?" And I was like, "Yes, please." Yes, I do. Thank you. You're the best. Janine Weber's husband dressed up like an orca.
That was funny. That was great. He was on TV too. Like that was that was fantastic.
I saw him pre-game. He was talking to the Migrate guy because they had like a table there with like some game worn jerseys, game pucks, everything like that. And I talked to the Migrate guy a couple times. I had a question for him. And he was like, "Yeah, this is Janine's husband." And I was like, "I love this. I love this so much." And he was like, "Yeah, she hates it." It's like, well, we love supportive hockey spouses. Like, we're here for this.
Hey,
how could you do that? That's amazing.
Right? I mean, like, that's love. Like, let me wear a very uncomfortable, like, foamy orca costume because I love you so much.
In Tampa.
In Tampa.
Yeah.
At least we were in an ice rink because at least it was chilled.
Yeah.
That's true.
Honestly,
that's
like
true.
that's great. And then you were like just all that. And then you actually by the way, we actually had hockey games too. Like
yeah.
What?
5 of them across a 3-day span. There was a lot of hockey that happened.
Yeah, and trying to live tweet all 5 games too. I mean, that was a trip.
I commend you, Zach. Like, I couldn't keep up with everything that was going on, and you were killing the Twitter game.
Thankfully, I was off last weekend, not this weekend or next weekend. So luckily, the weekend I had off was the playoffs, so it kind of worked out in my favor.
Yeah. When Courtney, you watched most of the games too, right?
I watched a couple of them, yeah, and then the teams that I wanted to win kept losing, so I stopped, and then it didn't work anyway. So it was just a mess.
Yeah,
it's just a mess.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Trust me.
I mean,
I had to drive home after Monday night's
game.
Oh
gosh,
yeah. A very, very sad human.
I wasn't really impressed with the broadcast quality though. Like it looked really nice on TV.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday afternoon, because I left way earlier than I said I was going to.
Yeah, like hey, I'm going to leave at like noon.
I left at like 9:30.
You didn't even want to finish your bowl of cereal before you left for Tampa.
It didn't. I was messaging Zach. I was like, I really want to leave right now, but I'm going to eat first. And I was like, I don't even want to finish the cereal. And it's like my favorite cereal. I ate half-ish more of the bowl. And then the rest of it went down the sink. And I was like, all right, puppies, I love you. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
You wanted to get to Tampa that bad. And you're just like,
I did.
I'll just get something on the road.
I got there.
Road food.
With like one pit stop because I really couldn't hold it anymore.
It just be like that sometimes.
It does. It was like 1:30. I got to the hotel there like, I'm sorry, we were booked last night, so there's no way we can check you in early. Okay, where is their food?
Yeah.
They're like, well, there's these restaurants. They gave me all these coupons, and they're like, but there's also like a bar at the ice rink. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, what?
Well,
there's a what? So I drove over to the ice rink just because I didn't want to like leave all my stuff in a hotel parking lot in the car. So I drove it over to the hockey rink, which was literally across the street.
There you go.
And walked inside. I was like, they said there was food. Where is the food? She was like, okay, so go upstairs. And I was like, there's an upstairs. And there was like a whole bar, like full service bar, full menu. Got a delicious turkey burger with some sweet potato fries.
Ooh, that's on.
It was delicious. And then later that afternoon, I got some poutine.
Oh man!
Like they had a poutine menu. Like there wasn't just poutine. There was like all of these variations, and I'm like, I'm sorry, if I want poutine, I want like poutine. It was called the Canuck.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
that's how you know you're getting the right one.
That's how I know I got the right one, and it was like amazing. It came in literally like a small like cast iron skillet.
Oh my!
Yeah, it was. It was like I met my my editor from Beyond Women's Sports. It was the first time we'd ever met like in person, and she was like, "Didn't you just eat?" I was like, "Yeah, but I'm still kind of hungry. I really didn't finish my breakfast." And all I basically had is like half a bowl of cereal, a turkey burger, and some sweet potato fries today. And I was like, I'm going to get this. And I got it. No regrets. On Sunday,
Absolutely not.
they had
Yeah.
brunch
Brunch?
at the bar at the arena.
Okay, this arena has to be probably the best arena I've ever heard because
Right?
I've never heard of an arena doing brunch.
It was
For real.
4 sheets plus like a little tiny baby like mini sheet.
Wow.
I only ever saw 2 rinks. I don't even know where the other 2 are. I just know that they exist.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Maybe
this
there's
is-
like a basement with secret ice rinks.
it's Florida. We don't have basements here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Maybe there's I don't know.
Yeah, but like they had a pro
It's in
shop.
the walls.
Yeah, it's in the wall somewhere. They had a really nice pro shop. They had some really awesome like whalers hats, which threw me because it's in Tampa. Like they had the pucky with the ers like whalers hat, and I was
Wow,
like,
that's some old school stuff there.
they even had like a Patrick Kane figurine collector thing, and I was like, I'm sorry, do you not remember 2015 Tampa?
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
so
They won 2 back to back. I think they're over it.
Thunderbug was there on
Honestly,
Monday night.
Who?
Their mascot, the Lightning mascot, Thunderbug.
Yeah. I was like, who is that again? Actually,
Yeah.
I would not have been mad to get that Patty Kane figurine though, because I mean it's Patrick Kane. Why not?
Yeah. I just didn't feel it was like legit. They had him like hanging up on the pegs on the wall, and it was like in the very back, and I was just not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
There were
not.
like 4 or 5. I knew it was Kaner because it was a red jersey with 88.
I mean,
mean,
that pretty much.
We all know who that is.
Yeah.
But they even had like the gritty Funko Pop, and I was
Huh.
like, you guys confuse me in the best way possible.
That's
Like,
amazing. I want
'cause it used to
gritty
be-
Funko Pop.
Yeah, who doesn't want a gritty Funko? Like
who
I
doesn't
have the
love
Tommy
gritty?
Hawk one. I need
I
a
love
gritty
Tommy
one.
Hawk.
I need the Tommy Hawk one. I have a Tommy Hawk bobblehead, but I don't have the Funko. But I do have a Patty
Ah.
Kane or I have a Patty Kane or Corey Crawford Funko Pop. But
I have the Corey one too.
I have no Blackhawks Funko Pops, but I have a
Amazon.
Patty Kane bobblehead. He's over here
yeah.
just hanging out. But goalie Tender, by the way, has a Twitter now.
What?
I saw that.
Goalie Tender has a Twitter.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to
Yes.
follow them.
Yes. So, but it was a great weekend. Congratulations to the Boston Pride. Yeah, the first back-to-back Isabel Cup champions.
I think they're the first. Yeah, they're also the 3-time too. I think as well. So I
Yeah.
mean,
His first 3-time champ, first back-to-back champs. And it hurts because they beat my whale.
yeah. I thought the Will were gonna do it. Then it's like what 2 goals in 17, like what 14 seconds.
2 goals in 14 seconds.
Oof,
Yeah.
that's rough.
And I mean, honestly, the biggest drop in that game was when they did not take advantage of the 5-minute power play that they had and they didn't score.
Yeah,
Because that would have been a game changer.
I'm-
And there were
you
opportunities,
also gotta
but like
remember
MVP, nothing against Taylor Witkowski. The MVP is the goalposts. I saw many whale shots hit the post. One hit the corner. And I was just like, why do you hate us?
Mm.
here's
Why
my.
do you hate us?
But here, how's Bert from the Pride, their goaltender? How does she not get MVP? Because I think they gave up 3 goals, 4 goals the entire tournament.
She
Wow.
was phenomenal.
One.
Yeah.
She gave up 1 going into the final.
Yeah.
Oh
She
my
gave up
gosh.
4. She gave up 4 total.
Yeah.
Like we did our preview show, she had a 141 goals against and a 960 something save percentage.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
excuse me. Like, how is she not the MVP of the playoffs?
I mean, Taylor Witkowski had herself a playoffs. Like,
she did. She was.
I met her mom. Her mom is hilarious, but also
Aw.
like the most supportive hockey mom. She was at the migrate table. She has bought almost every jersey she can get her hands on during an auction. She bought her goal puck from
Oh,
the
nice.
semifinal. Like literally her and I stood at that table for some time because the migrate guy had to go collect Toronto and Minnesota's jerseys for auction because they weren't going to take them back with them. And so like we were waiting for him to come back, but the penalty box guy like dropped off all of the goal and the game pucks and was like, have seen you before, watch these and make sure nobody steals them. So now I have like a moral obligation not to leave this table. And so I stood there the whole time. I even sent Dave from Migraine emails like, hey, there are some people waiting at the table for you. And he came in with like the big cart with all the jerseys. I was like, okay, that explains everything.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And then he sent me an email. He was like, well, it was a nice try. I was like, well, once I saw all the jerseys, like I understood. But
Yeah.
he told me to wait. So I had to wait. Like, watch these pucks. Okay.
You had to. You can't just walk away at that point.
Yeah,
Right?
for real.
So,
Oh my
but
gosh.
I watched both Whale games with Hannah Beatty's parents. It was just her dad on Sunday and then her mom and dad on Monday. And that was phenomenal. Like, we all consoled each other at the end of the game. But they were phenomenal. I mean, it was an amazing weekend.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it seemed like it. Yeah, for the fact that all the photos you were sharing, and just the fact that it's like just meeting players, meeting certain individuals too, and the fact that it's like, oh yeah, our social media gets shared by PHF players too. Like we have a goalie chair because
Yeah. Katie
Burt-
Burt. Oh, I love her.
Katie Burt
She uses her goalie stick as a chair.
like
I
like
love
she,
it.
she sits down, has the goalie stick on the back of her pads, and then just sits on the stick like an actual bench, and she shares it on her Instagram, and it's like goalie chair, and I'm like,
Phenomenal.
okay,
There was an NHL goalie that used to do that too, and I'm forgetting who it was now.
I know you're talking about, but I'm blanking on the name, but yeah, the way she's,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know how she does not get MVP because, like I said, one goal into the final. I think at one point they were like what 12-1 in goal
Yeah.
differential.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
Yeah.
yeah.
They had a tournament. They turned on the right time because coming into the playoffs,
Just like last year.
It was rough.
Yeah. Just like last year, Boston got hot in the playoffs, and same thing this year.
but also we got the normal for hockey. We got a Boston-Toronto playoff.
And Toronto did not show up.
No, they did not.
Absolutely smoked.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
well,
was-
Corey, but at least it's not your
feel pain.
Toronto. At least
Yeah.
it's not your Toronto. So I mean,
Yeah, because she was cheering for the Whitecaps. So
are you
also
white? Are
didn't
you white?
win.
You're a Whitecaps fan, right, Courtney?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah,
she
Hey,
told me that, and I got confused. I was like, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Don't you live in the Chicago area? How are you cheering for a Minnesota team?" She was like, "Allie Thunstrom." I was like, "Okay."
There's also not a Chicago team, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I
Yeah.
got to talk to Allie Thunstrom
Oh
man.
my
Um,
goodness.
post loss, so I tried to keep it like short and sweet, no pictures.
Does she talk
and-
as fast as she skates?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I was like, I just wanted to say, like, it was so great to see you at the ECHL All-Star game in Jacksonville. Like, we were so happy to have you. And it was just like, oh, thank you so much. Like, it was such a great. I was like, oh, okay, gotcha.
Everything she does is super fast. Yeah.
Yes.
The first time I watched a Whitecaps game, I was just like, who is that? Because that is the fastest skater I've ever seen on the ice.
Yeah, she is scary
She's quick.
quick. Yeah, that's why she has the most goals because no one can catch her.
That's why
Fair.
she has several shorthanded goals as well, because no one can catch her.
She's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
She is.
Kenny
She
Marchment,
really is.
just, I mean,
Beautiful.
Grant Mantis, I mean, have a season as well. So, Beth, how about that spicy interaction between the Riveters at the very end of that game? Just
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
must
it
that
was-
must have been that was watching on TV must have been something, but I can't imagine the vibes after that live. Like,
It was tense, to say the least. I mean, I was down on the Riveter side of the ice because I was with Penny from Beyond Women's Sports. Anya had gotten us our access, so I actually have like a team Metropolitan Riveters like access badge. And so we were down there watching the game because it felt like that's the thing that you do. Like, she got you it was tense. It was very,
Yeah.
very tense.
because that was against the Whitecaps, right? Because of the seeding. Or am I thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's been a
Yes,
week.
because it
I
was
don't-
Buttes Pride, Whitecaps
yeah.
Ribs.
Yeah, that got that was extra spicy for sure. Because I think the initial hit was an accident, but the cross check afterwards,
Yeah.
not so much. And then Massive Packer comes out of nowhere and just also drops a cross check. Like,
I mean, she stands up for her team.
That's why she's
She always
Captain.
has.
That's why she's Captain America. So I mean, I feel bad for the Buttes. Like Carly Jackson, she did not need that. She did not need that abuse from the Boston
No,
Pride.
poor Carly Jackson. We love her.
What a legend.
She is a
Yeah.
legend.
Hey, she's on vacation right now. So I mean, nothing wrong with that.
All of the whale were saying they were having sad girl spring break after they lost, and I'm like,
here for
I
it.
understand.
Yeah, I mean,
I do wish I was having sad girl spring break. No, I have like a job and stuff, so gotta work.
yeah.
But
With your 1 hour of sleep that you got after getting back,
Tuesday was rough.
get energy drinks to the moon.
I actually sipped on the same bang all day, because I didn't want to consume too much caffeine, because then I would have fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Fair.
Courtney understands.
Yes. Very much understand this.
Luckily, Bang though doesn't do it as bad as like Monster or Red Bull. So
Yeah, but I stuck to one energy drink the entire day, and literally
hats
got
off to
off
you.
of work at 4:30, sat down on the couch to watch Tournament of Champions because I love cooking shows, obsessed, and don't even remember like ingredients being collected for the first group that was competing. I remember like a 3, 2, 1 go, and then I woke up like 2 hours later.
just an instant like gone.
Yeah, out. I called my mom. She was like, I thought you'd be asleep. I was like, well, I just woke up from a 2-hour nap. So
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I was
But-
surprised when you texted me that night. I was like, shouldn't you be sleeping?
Yeah,
I went to bed
thought,
shortly after that.
I thought you'd be dead to the world until like the next day or something. Because for me, if I'm on the couch or like with an hour of sleep and then working, I'd be out for at least a good 9-10 hours. Just
I
dead.
slept until like 6:37 ish. Woke up, had dinner.
Important.
Yeah.
Watched a couple things on TV, texted y'all to everyone's surprise that I was, alive.
Yeah.
You're functioning?
then
What?
I was in my bed, like almost asleep at 10:15. And then woke up like at 7:55 on Wednesday morning, and I had to be at work at 8. Thankfully, I work like right there.
You just had to like roll over.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, ah! Oh crap! Got up, booted up the computer at 8 o'clock. I was like in my emails, like, oh thank God.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish I had like a 2-minute commute to work. It'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
The dogs were not happy with me though, because they got no breakfast and no potty break before I had to clock into work, but I got some stuff done. I had a video to watch because I just started, so still doing some training stuff. And then I was like, all right, let's go ahead outside now, guys. I'm so sorry.
Whoopsies.
Oopsies, I'm so sorry, guys. Hold it a little bit longer.
Oh man. But so the season's over, unfortunately, which what can you do? But season 8 though, we get 2 more franchises, and I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
We got Montreal.
I was
we
going to
also
say
have
one of them is Montreal, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other is TBD.
I'm already putting this out there. I'm predicting it's probably going to be Chicago because you have no teams between Minnesota and everyone else. I think Chicago is probably going to be it, or Detroit, but I'm hoping for Chicago just because.
I would say honestly, Detroit might be a better.
You got Fifth Third Arena right there for you can use the Blackhawks practice facilities right there. I mean, you're talking Chicago. I mean, Kendall Coyne Schofield. You have a bunch of former women's hockey players that work for the organization.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they don't do the PHF. They're in the PWHPA.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say that might be the only.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they got that connection.
Because I'm not sure if they would put a team there while she works for the Blackhawks and is in the other one.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
hopefully there'll be some getting along. I mean, there was a meeting that we don't know the results of. When it comes to the NHL being like, you guys need to sit down and it's like, I'm sorry, sir. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Don't tell us that we have to get along. Like, I'm on the fence. Like, I enjoy the parity. I enjoy the fact that there are 2 women's leagues to watch. I don't understand why the things that the PWHPA wanted have basically happened, yet nothing has moved forward. But it is what it is. We don't know what goes on the inside. Next year is a whole nother story.
For sure. It's just tough because it splits attention. You know, like people will pay attention to one or the other. You even see it in men's hockey. Most people are NHL fans because that's the league that gets the most airtime on TV. And people don't watch much AHL hockey or ECHL hockey or insert other league here because you don't see it as much. So if you combine them all, at least on the women's side, until you have more teams to have like the junior teams and the minor league teams and all that.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at it, it's the PHF is on ESPN Plus, and they get ESPN, but then like you might have the PHWPA, but they're on NHL Network every so often. Other than that, all you're getting is like Twitter feeds. Like
I've literally never seen one of their games. I don't know where they play or when
they're usually on the NHL Network. They generally play before like an NHL matchup in whatever NHL arena. Like they were in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
last
so
week.
much for the NHL not wanting to be involved.
Yeah, we're gonna show your game on the NHL Network.
Yeah,
right. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, they were using it as a rematch. So they had all the the Canadian players face off against each other in Pittsburgh. So it was like a rematch of the Olympics, basically.
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Unless you're on Twitter, you really didn't hear about it.
Like, and it had to be like Penguins Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah, Penguins Twitter did. Yeah, because the PWJPA did whatever reason didn't do on theirs, or I don't even know they even have their own Twitter. But yeah, it was through Penn's
That's
PR.
so weird.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, like the PWHPA, the advertisement, the word of mouth, it's not there like it is for the PHF.
I'm literally on Twitter 24/7 looking at hockey stuff.
Like,
I had no idea.
Courtney lives on hockey Twitter, so
yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. Nobody was talking about it.
The only way I knew about it is the fact that, like I said, Penguins Twitter was talking about it. Like it was on their. It was their PR account.
A couple of like the Canadian and U.S. women's national team members like posted something about it.
Yeah, it was like Hillary Knight and I think a couple others, and that was really about it. Like
so.
And the thing is, it's like the PW. It's like I don't understand what more they want. Like they got the benefits. The league is getting, I think they got like another raise. They raised the cap by a good amount. Yeah. Like they're getting closer to where it's going to be okay. This is your job, and that's it. You don't have to be a teacher or a nurse or anything like that. They're getting closer,
unless you want to be.
Yeah, unless you want to be. But even then, it's like I really don't know what more the PWHPA is waiting for in terms of that.
Anya had mentioned after everything kind of settled for the weekend that there were a couple players this season who did not have second jobs. Like they lived off of their PHF salaries.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're getting to the point where like, that can be a thing.
Yeah, like, and plus you're getting 2 more franchises. Like, how is that not awesome to have? The fact that you're doing the travel, you're getting a couple more teams now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we don't know where the other American league, where the other American team's going to be. But I mean, at least you're getting a Montreal. Now you have Montreal and Toronto. Like, how are you not going to enjoy that for PHF?
Yeah. Little Canadian battles. It's going to be beautiful.
It just seems petty at this point, to be honest. Like, we're not going to join it because that's their thing, and it's not the thing that we started. No, that's what it wants from the outside.
PWHPA has stated that they want to start an elite professional women's league. And I'm like, have you watched the PHF? Because
it's a lot better fucking hockey. I'm sorry, can I swear on this?
It's
a lot better fucking hockey than what we saw from Team USA at the Olympics. So
hey-o.
I mean,
they can actually score on the power play.
I love our national team, but
losing Brianna Decker hurt a lot.
Oh yeah,
it did. And I mean, Canada was an absolute monster. Nobody was getting past them this year.
No,
but
wagon.
Still,
wagon.
Absolute wagon with a capital W, wagon.
Yeah.
Like, it was just ridiculous. I mean,
yeah,
perfect record, barely any goals against. Like, it was just No one
Yeah.
was stopping Canada. So I mean, even then, and guess who won in overtime for their rematch game? Canada, and it was Marie Poulin. As always,
It was
just
Marie
Marie-Philippe
Poulin.
Poulin.
Of course it
Yeah.
was.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
OT.
Surprise, everybody.
An OT winner. You're like, yep, that sounds about on brand for Canada and the United States.
That
Where
just triggers trauma memories of 2014.
It's true. It's true.
So I mean, yeah, like you said, Courtney, it's like I really don't know. Like, and the thing too is like you can't keep up with any of the teams because all the team names are different. It's like, but they have like all these. It's like a Montreal. I think it's MTL, but it's a different team name, and it's like certain cities with certain team names and stuff like that. But you don't know who's on who. You don't know who's on what team.
I didn't even know they had teams.
No, they have Team Adidas and Team Bauer, and
They have like 14. They have four,
and they're all sponsor teams. But they have a deal apparently in place for a sustainable 8 to 10 team league, and it's like cool. So if you take your money and the PHF money and you marry them together, then y'all gonna be making some dollars.
And the thing is, like, you're getting enough money for an 8 to 10. Like, the PHF's going to go to 8 teams. You're about ready to get 8 teams. You just made a 16-team league already.
Though I did see somebody say it would be really cool to see them do like a premier and a championship league kind of thing like they do for soccer.
It's not big enough. It's just not.
But with 8 teams on each side, they could have like a playoff, and then the 2 best teams at the end could battle each other. And I'm like, but would there be like relegation? Like,
no, that's
what are we talking about here?
Why don't you just make it into like conferences, kind of like the MLB does?
Yeah,
it's basically what the NFL did too, because you had the AFC and NFC, and then it was like a whole different thing, and they had to absorb one league to make it a bigger league to create the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
which is what it's going to end up. I feel like that's where it's going to end up if we have 2 leagues.
And that's what happened with baseball. It's like. It's
not big enough to be European soccer.
No,
nothing is. The NHL isn't.
Because that's how the NHL started.
The MLS didn't do that. We have soccer here in the States, and we don't even do pro rel because they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So why are we going to do it for hockey? That makes no sense.
Because everything about this has to be complicated.
Of course. The NHL is involved. Of course it has to be complicated.
But no, they're not, because they don't want to be involved.
But I think they're saying games. We're not going to be involved is making it more complicated. Because
also that, but at this point, they shouldn't be, because it's sustainable without them.
No.
And that's how it should be, because they don't need the NHL, and the NHL just messes everything it touches up. So
and I'm not going to lie to you, I blame the Avalanche for the Whitecaps losing, because they like publicly admitted on Twitter that they were switching teams right before the game started.
Yeah, because they were Riveters. They still kind of are, but they're kind of not. It's a whole weird thing. But
then they were like, oh, but wait, we love Taylor because we have Nico Sturm, so go Whitecaps. And the Rivs were like, I'm sorry. What?
I thought we had something special.
We had something special, Colorado, and they were like, "We still love you as well." And it's like, no.
You can't have your side piece after you just switch teams. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's not how it works here.
Stop sitting on the fence. Pick a side.
Bandwagoners.
I mean, the thing is with the NHL, it's like you really can't model anything that the NBA and WNBA did, because that's a whole completely different monster in and of itself. So you really can't do it for the NHL. It's not how it works. Until Bettman and all of his cronies are gone, nothing's going to get better. So
and the PHF is doing well.
Yeah, PHF is doing great. I mean,
they're on ESPN Plus. Like, we went from the days of streaming just on Twitter to being on
Twitch?
ESPN.
Yeah. Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah, Twitch was a huge step in between there, and it was massive. And they had sponsorships and all of this, and tons of people watching. So it just shows how sustainable this is without the NHL stepping in and making everything difficult.
Well, I think
the championship game was on ESPN too. It wasn't on a streaming service. It was on national television.
Yeah,
and also, you don't need the other players. If they're going to be this difficult and like, no, nothing that you come up with to better this league is good enough. Fine. Just stop trying.
We don't need you.
Stop trying. They don't need you. They are doing perfectly fine without you in their league right now. You can
Hey,
go
Allie.
and
Hey, Kennedy.
play-
How are you? Like,
Yeah. You can go
Can't-
play for your teams that nobody knows exists. Nobody knows where to watch you or when to watch you. They don't even know you're a thing. And the PHF will be over here, having their amazing tournament.
and
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah,
So
they're
much fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
the $25 million investments. I mean, you got Discover Cards, you got Dick's Sporting Goods, you got like
Upper
all these
Deck,
Exactly.
Upper
Elite
Deck.
Prospects.
I am so ready for the PHF cards to be like physical cards, just to
Like,
collect those. Like,
They're making things happen. And
Yeah.
this other group of players is just whining about it, no matter what happens. And again, like you said, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. And there might be something very specific and very valid that they are holding out for. But, like, what else could they possibly be doing? They're raising the cap. They're getting all of these deals. They're pushing the game to be in front of more eyes, and more people are watching it.
mhm.
And people know the names of the PHF teams. Like I
They-
said, I had no idea that there were team names.
Yeah, I know that
For the
there's like
PWA.
Team Bauer and Team Adidas. Like there's team sponsor names. They're not like the Whitecaps and the Whale. It's like Team Bauer, Team Adidas, Team whatever. But like last season, the PHF at the end of season 6, they announced that they were doubling the salary cap to $300,000 per team. Next season, it's going to $750,000, which is more than double. Like the things that Tyler put in place to make this happen, like we were blessed to have her as our commissioner.
Mhm.
She did so much to grow the game and to advance the PHF. Even something as simple as renaming the league from the NWHL to the PHF to be more inclusive.
To not have it just associated with women's hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or to even like be a trans player having to explain like as a trans male that I play in a women's hockey league. Like I can't imagine that kind of conversation, but to do that and to transform this into a game where we are an inclusive environment, here are the standards. If, you decide to transition, or if you've already transitioned, like this is what we have outlined for you. You won't play in a women's hockey league. You will play in the Premier Hockey Federation. Hell, we're going to have drag queens at the final, dropping pucks.
Hell yeah.
Like
we need more drag queens in hockey. So I was talking to Elaine about this on Twitter the other day, and we have been force-fed these boring in-arena hosts for as long as the NHL has existed. And as long as the AHL has existed, we need drag queens as in-arena hosts.
Yes. Cosign.
Every game would be so much fun. It's hockey. It's a sport. It's a game. Can we please have fun one of these days? I just want to have fun with hockey.
Welcome to the PHF.
I do have to say the mentor for the Hurricanes, he's the PA guy in Carolina. He is absolutely fantastic. He is a great guy. He's a great follow. So the Hurricanes,
some hockey people are fun. Like, don't get me wrong. There are fun hockey people, but like
we need drag queens.
There are not fun people in the PHF. Like it is just fun.
Unless you're I don't think there really is any, to be honest.
Even after a loss, like there was still fun.
Unless you're the Ice Garden, that's a whole different thing.
We won't get there. So,
but that's how it should be. It's a sport. It is a game.
Yeah.
As the wonderful goaltender Brizgalov once said, "Why you have to be mad?
It's on the game. Why you have to be mad?
Well,
it's on the game."
Yeah, well, in the fact that even what Tyler did too, like they have like their like medical insurance is better than ever for the league. Like they've got everything covered now. It's like, and we also said 2 more teams, like growing the sport.
You have to start somewhere. It's not like the NHL became a thing and they were paying their players $10 million.
40 years ago, these players were barely making 6 figures.
Right. You have to start somewhere.
And, well, and think about this too. Think of all the teams that started in 1926. We didn't get even expansion teams until the 60s. You're talking 40 of 100 years where you had 6 teams and that was it, and then you had to get 6 more for an expansion, and
They tried the whole thing with the NHL and the
WHA.
Western, thank
Yeah,
you, WHA. Guess
World
what
Hockey
didn't
Association.
fucking work?
the
Guess
two,
what didn't work?
the two
You want to
leagues
know
didn't
what?
work.
You
The
want to
two
know
leagues-
why? Because the NHL wanted Wayne Gretzky.
I mean,
And that's why they
Can't
got
blame them.
that's why the Oilers and a bunch of other teams, and and that first Western Conference with all the expansion teams, the travel was.
It was the same with the ECHL. It used to be the East Coast Hockey League, and there was a West Coast Hockey League, and they were 2 separate entities that did not play each other. Now the East Coast Hockey League turned into the ECHL. They kept the same moniker, but they absorbed West Coast teams. There's a team in Newfoundland, for crying out loud. Do you know how difficult it is to travel to Newfoundland in the winter?
Are they still there? Because I heard they lost
Yes.
I heard they lost their barn.
There were some situations, but those situations have been resolved.
Because I know they're the Growlers, and it's just
Yes. But like
you gotta have
Newfoundland,
you need the Newfies. You need those guys. Don't say that to their face though, because they will punch you. But
no, they won't. Newfies are chill.
Yeah.
I'm an honorary Newfie. I have drank the screech. I have kissed the fish. I am fine. I have.
There you go then. Oh, there you go.
But yeah, like this 2 league nonsense doesn't work.
No, it might work for a season or 2.
Yeah,
but like, I'm gonna stay with the PHF.
Because it's fun.
It's so fun.
Well, do you ladies remember the CWHL?
Yeah, the league that folded.
That feels like it was
an
20
eternity.
years ago.
Yeah,
and it was 2019.
Yeah, and that
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's that
CW
recent.
Folded in 2019.
Oh my god.
That's how recent it was, and that's the league that Hillary Knight and a lot of the PWHA players came from. Was from that league, and that's where you had, was it Calgary, Montreal, Toronto,
Boston?
Yeah, so
That sounds about right.
There was a couple others, but yeah, I mean,
there's one in New York.
That travel was beyond rough. You're talking about Calgary to Toronto.
Yeah.
And they weren't rolling in the money either. Like even then, you didn't even know that CWHL even existed.
Also, the NWHL was the first women's league to actually pay their players.
Oh yeah, there was that one.
There's
Before
that.
they changed.
Yeah, the CWHL wasn't even paying their players.
Yeah. The NWHL was paying their players. They were the first women's league. Somebody was like, no, it was this Russian league. I was like, I'm sorry. Giving somebody an apartment is not paying them.
This was their first season as the PHF, right?
This is their first season in the PHF, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so,
but yeah, talk about multiple leagues. Yeah, the Canadian Women's Hockey League did not pan out too well.
It folded while the NWHL existed.
Because guess what? They don't need you guys.
And guess what? We like fun. We love fun hockey.
So if you're gonna be all petty about this shit, go do it, and nobody's gonna watch you because we don't fucking know how.
Yeah,
we don't know how.
We never
hear
hear
about
PHF.
you.
It's on ESPN Plus.
It's on ESPN Plus. You go down to ice hockey, and you're like, "Oh, are there any NHL games on right now?" No, there's not.
Like,
oh, there's this game on.
I don't want to watch Montreal and Arizona play a game. What else is there? Oh, what is this? Whale versus Pride or Riveters
How do you
versus
get casual fans? Huh? There you go. Make it accessible to watch.
You put the semifinal game on the homepage of ESPN Plus so that it's just there and people are like, what is this?
Yeah.
Or my favorite awful take that happened on Twitter was from, what was it, World Hockey Report, stop playing in community ice rinks. I'm sorry. Do you know the size of the barns the NHL started in? Because it wasn't these 20,000 seat arenas.
Right. You have to start somewhere.
You have to scale. And you want to know what? That was standing room only all weekend.
You know what? I bet they sold more tickets to those games than the Ice Hogs have sold to a game all season long.
Probably.
They didn't sell tickets.
Guarantee
the tickets were
that.
free.
Oh, well, they had more people there
Yeah.
than have attended an Ice Hogs game all season, that have attended an Arizona Coyotes game all season long.
You know the merch was flying. Like, yeah, they didn't have like tickets, but the merch was flying off the shelf.
The merch was made on demand. every shirt and sweatshirt that I have was made and screen printed in front of me.
That's amazing.
How do you save on costs? You make merch on demand.
And you do it
That's
there.
amazing.
And you do it there. On
And
site.
people can watch their stuff being made.
The kids
cool
were
is that?
so excited to
How
see
do
their
you get
stuff being
casual
made.
fans?
This
Be
is
like,
how you
be like,
do it.
Mom, I
Fun.
want that sweatshirt, or I want that t-shirt, and I want this on it, because you could choose. It was like a choose your own adventure novel. Like, I would like this blue t-shirt. I would like it to have a logo on the front and a logo on the back. There were options to put like some of the larger logos on the front, but I was like, no, I want this cute little Isabel Cup Pocket logo, and I want the Making Waves logo on the back. I have
the
have,
Harlan group just absolutely, like I said, we have to say it again. The Harlan group absolutely killed it for the logos.
They killed the graphics. Like,
I'm sorry.
I cannot wait to have Elliot on the show, because he wants to be on our show, and my heart, like
the All-Star Game logo, the All-Star Game jerseys, the PHF playoff logo.
Yeah.
It doesn't miss.
Courtney
at
looks
all.
frustrated.
I am. I very much am.
How are your Leafs doing?
Oh, they're winning currently.
Oh,
They're winning
that's
2-1. No, I'm just frustrated because all of this is amazing. And yet the NHL and the AHL don't know how to market anything. And it drives me nuts.
But the thing with the AHL is you have to buy a package just to get the games, and there's like it's just your team or the whole league, or it's just home games or just away games, and it's like
Yeah, that's they don't make it easy to watch, and AHL TV sucks even if you do have the package.
it's that's why I've never really pulled the trigger on it, because I've had some buddies who got it and they let me like borrow it to watch just games, and I'm like, yikes, these are rough. Like I'd rather live in the city to get the TV feed.
Yeah.
The CHL TV also used to be horrible, but they got a sponsorship from Flow Sports.
Flow Sports does a pretty good job. They do a pretty good job on actually doing that.
And it's a yearly fee, and you don't just get hockey. You literally get whatever Flow Sports has.
Yeah.
So
I got it to watch some of the Indy Fuel playoff games last year. Playoff game. They were out pretty early.
Oh, I love our Indy Fuel, but I want to see them at least go for a title at just one point in my life, please.
Let's go, Iceman. Whoop.
I would say all gas, no brakes for the Fuel, but not so much.
Yeah, but we've talked about the joy.
52
minutes of joy, so we have to have like 20 to 30 minutes of pain.
Well,
we should have started this the other way around.
Because we love our WoHo fans, and we know that not all WoHo fans are Blackhawks fans.
So we get them through the fun part first before we get to the. And luckily, the thing too is like it's 8:35. I want to get off here at 9 so I can have dinner, because I haven't eaten dinner yet. So I'm like starving.
So before we get to the pain, if you're watching on YouTube or you have seen our socials, you'll notice that we have a sponsor now. So we are sponsored by Shocked Energy. If you go to their website and order their little 13-calorie packets of energy goodness and type in the code WOHOCKEY, you get 10% off of your order. So I have a box on the way. Zach, have you ordered a box yet?
I have not, but I plan on at some point. I don't know which one I want to get first. But also we have a link tree, so if you click the link for Shocked Energy, that also helps let them know that you went through us.
Yes.
But I do plan on getting a box. I just don't know which one I want to get yet. It's either watermelon or green apple, but they both sound good. So I mean,
the good news is they have a sample box that has a combination of both flavors in it. And so you can get a sample box and it's like half the price, but you get less packages. So you can try both of them.
Now I'm curious if the 10% of works for that though too, because if so,
it does.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yes. So it works on all orders through the website. So if you need some energy, mine will be here soon. So hopefully by next episode, I can let you know what it tastes like. I got watermelon. I'm excited. I'm not really a green apple person, so it'll be here.
Both options sound pretty good, honestly. So I mean, you're can't go wrong. So I mean,
it's true. It is true.
Yeah. So just WOHOCKEY, WOHAWKY. 10% off your order. Because
Yep.
why not?
And have some energy that's not like 1,000,000 calories of carbs and sugar. So
ditch your Monsters and Red Bulls. Go with Shocked Energy, because
go with 13. Look, if you're on any sort of like weight loss, fitness, whatever adventure, 13 calories is what you're looking for. Because, oh, by the way, I think there's like less than 1 carb per package. So you're welcome.
That's not bad. Can't go wrong with that.
Not at all. So
is it that time?
It's time to talk about the pain.
I'm not ready. Can we just go back to the PHF for another 25
You know
minutes?
what? We'll start with some less painful parts of the pain. Courtney, you're also an Ice Hogs person.
Correct.
So let's talk about the future that we have to look forward to based on what's going on in Rockford.
Well, they are in a playoff spot.
Whoa, hold on. Wait, what?
Timeout. What?
I know.
The Ice Hogs? No.
Mm-hmm. Currently in a playoff spot. I believe they are in 4th currently.
Okay.
Let me actually check that because they keep bouncing back and forth because the Central Division is very close.
Kind of like, it usually is the Central Division in the
Exactly.
NHL
Yeah,
as well.
they're in 4th currently.
Okay.
So the top 5 teams in the Central Division make it into the playoffs.
Oh.
So
okay.
Well,
I have a little bit of wiggle room.
I know the number 1 team in the Central is good for the playoffs, so should be all right with that.
Who's number 1 in the Central?
We don't talk about them.
Okay.
The Chicago Wolves.
Oh, the team that lost 8-0 to the Rockford Ice Hogs?
That's the one to kick off 2022 first game of the calendar year.
Didn't it end like some sort of like no regulation loss streak as well?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like 17 or 18 straight, something like that.
Man.
Oof. It was so beautiful.
Love to see it.
Nothing.
I think I heard about that about once, twice, maybe about 50. So sounds about right.
8-0 is significant.
Yeah.
Especially for these two teams.
Yeah, especially when you're in-state rival. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, the Ice Hogs have a winning record against the Wolves this year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. They have pretty much dominated that matchup.
Love to see it.
Which is interesting, but yeah. They always bring their game against the good old Wolvesies of Rosemont.
Well, next weekend I'm going to be in Chicago, and my dad was like, do you want to go to a Wolves game? I was like, if I have a choice, I would rather go to an Ice Hogs game.
You don't want to go to a Wolves game because Allstate is garbage.
He is closer to Rosemont than he is to Rockford. So
the BMO is way better than Allstate is.
With their off-center scoreboard.
We don't talk about that. They're fixing it.
That would make my eyes twit. Like, I would not be able to look at the scoreboard the whole game. I would not.
Look, so people who don't know who I am, my podcast is called From Center Ice because we sit on the red line. So I have to look to my left to look
that would
at the
drive me
Jumbotron.
insane. Is it just off-center from the red line, or is it also off-center, like...
Just off the red line.
Okay.
It's like center...
So
it's centered width-wise, but not... Yeah. Okay.
But they're getting a new Jumbotron in the off-season because they're doing a bunch of renovations to the BMO.
Well, that's what happens when your NHL team buys you for the next 30 years. So now you actually get an influx of money to get your stuff taken care of.
Yeah, but Allstate looks like a high school, and yeah. So
see, that would be rough for me because, like, I go to Iceman games. They play in what could technically be like a small NHL arena.
The Icemen have a much better arena.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Allstate.
But with the upper bowl open, it seats like 13,000 plus.
Oh my god!
It's less than 1,000 seat capacity to what Winnipeg plays in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's going to be more than twice what Arizona's going to be dealing with for the next 3 seasons or however long that's going to take.
I believe it's 5. If I remember correctly.
Embarrassing. It's just embarrassing for the league in general that's going to be happening.
Can we just move them to Quebec City already? Give the Canadians what they want. Give them their team back.
I really can't believe we're going to have an AHL team playing in a 5,000 seat college arena. I really just can't believe this is the path we're going on. This league,
But the PHF guys, they need to play in non-community arenas.
This league.
Hey, maybe it'll work well for the Coyotes.
They said tickets are going to be like $170 a person.
Maybe it won't work well for the Coyotes.
Who's
You
gonna?
can't get people in the seats right now. Who's going to pay $170?
I wouldn't pay that much to go to a Blackhawks game.
And plus, you're on a college campus, and Arizona State kids are going to be paying $170 for a hot.
College kids can't afford that.
They rather go see the Sun Devils play more than they want to go see the Coyotes play. Like, let's be honest. At least the Sun Devils are. The Sun Devils are in Division I hockey. I'd rather watch that than the Coyotes because, honestly, the Sun Devils could probably beat them at this point.
College hockey is fun, but I doubt those ticket prices are going to stick.
No. They're going to be like, oh, look, there's 5,000 seats in here, and there's 4 people. Shit.
And they are the parents of our players.
It's the wives. The wags are here, guys. I'm so sorry.
Not even all of them wanted to come.
we got 4. That's it. That's all we got.
It's like, hey, they can probably get a sellout. Not.
It's not like, for those prices.
No. And that's just like the regular, like cheap seats. Like I can't imagine what that tiers up to for
what? What?
Oh, glass.
Yeah. Oh, glass seats. Oh gosh. You're like you mean the nosebleeds on the concourse, like 10 rows up. You'll probably
I'm in the nosebleeds. You're 12 rows off the ice. What do you mean you're in the nosebleeds? It's the highest row of seating. It's the nosebleeds.
Obviously.
You want to talk about nosebleeds? Go to Madison Square Garden or go to the UC. You're talking some nosebleeds. You're way up there.
Go to the old arena that the Hershey Bears used to play in because their nosebleeds were terrifying. The entire building was made of concrete, and it was like a straight up angle to go up and down the stairs. It was frightening.
Yeah, you're basically kicking your shins off the stairs.
Yeah. But anyway, the BMO is a much better arena, so I would highly suggest going to an Ice Hogs game over a Wolves game. Plus they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you got Lucas Reichel. You got Lucas Reichel, Isaac Phillips. I mean,
Arvid Soderblom in net, or Cale Morris in net, depending on the night.
We're attendee friendly podcast.
Oh, Cale Morris. Well, I'm a big Lucas Reichel guy because I have a lot of family that's from Germany. So anytime I see a German player, be on a team that I like, it kind of works out. So I hope they do good. So plus Lucas Reichel is good. So I mean, not upset by it.
He is good.
Good is an understatement to describe Lucas Reichel.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
I mean, it's interesting with him. He almost has the Patrick Kane effect, and I don't want to say that they're anywhere close to being the same kind of player, but like,
didn't he grow up idolizing Patrick Kane?
Probably.
Oh yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like for long stretches of time, he will just disappear, and you won't notice him on the ice.
So he got the full Patrick Kane effect.
No, actually, he's got the Johnny Taze effect, but that's another conversation for later.
No, more in the Patrick Kane way.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
But he makes amazing things happen, and he is a lot of fun to watch on the ice. But also Josiah Slavin, just out there working his tail off every single shift. He came over to Rockford after his college season ended last year. And he only played a few games because the season was shorter and, they join at the end of the year. But he was already one of the best players on the ice every single night. And that didn't change coming into this season. He's so much fun. He leads he leads the team in shorthanded goals. He's just always working out there. And Michael Tepley is having himself a year too. He came over to North America. No, not to North America. He was playing in the WHL, maybe. But he turned pro last year, and it didn't go very well for him. Like, you could see that he had the tools, but just it took a year for him to adjust. But this season, he's been one of the best Ice Hogs out there night in and night out. And he just had an injury recently, and they looked completely different without him. And he's on a line with Lucas Reichel, actually, and they've developed some pretty good chemistry together.
I've noticed that a lot of these players have improved from last season to this season, and there was a pretty
How about that?
significant change that happened as well.
How about that?
Yeah, can we talk about how great Isaac Phillips is though, real quick, before we get into
Oh.
that next part?
My God. So before he came, so he was a 5th round draft pick in 2020. So the same draft year as Lucas Reichel. And since the OHL didn't have their season last year because of COVID, he was able to turn pro. Otherwise, he would have had to go back to junior because of the agreement between the NHL and the CHL. So he was able to come over to the AHL, and he had apparently this huge growth spurt before he turned pro. So he had to like learn how to play with his new massive body. And you could kind of tell for the first few weeks or like the first month. So throughout January, like his skating was awkward. He wasn't using his stick very well because it was a lot longer than he was used to. But
We
once
call
he got
those baby
used to it-
giraffes here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But it was almost kind of the same thing like with Tepley. Like you could see the potential, but instead of it just not clicking for him, it's just like he doesn't know what his body is doing because it's a lot bigger than he's used to. Yeah. But then once he like mentally grew into his physical body, he became one of the best defenders on the team. So he was a rookie, one of the best defenders.
What's a good what? I'm sorry. Our organization has good defenders.
Trust me, the reason it stood out to me so much is because he could win board battles. And
So
that's
the future's looking bright, apparently, if
That
we
is
take care of our
nothing-
prospects.
yeah.
Oh my, who knew?
That is
who
nothing
knew?
I have seen in Rockford. I've been a season ticket holder since the 16-17 season, I want to say. And every single year, I'm like, why can nobody win a board battle? So watching them last year, I'm like, who is this kid? Because he keeps going up to the boards with the opponent and like coming away with the puck. Like, what a concept.
Wait, that's a thing that people in the
Apparently.
Blackhawks organization can do?
Apparently, and he is still the only one. But
Wow. Well, you know, it starts with one.
yeah, it's amazing. And an opponent skates down into his corner and he just shoves them off the puck. And he's like, no, I'll be taking that. And then just completes a perfect breakout pass to his forward. And it gets out of the zone.
What?
Yeah. All of this at 19. And then coming into this year, he was the best defender on the team at 20 years old.
This is exciting stuff. Like,
Now we always got to figure our defense in Chicago, and then we should be hopefully.
Well,
well, you know, there's a future $9.5 million contract that's making that pretty difficult. So
There's a lot of roadblocks on that blue line in Chicago.
It's been like that for I don't know how many years now. Because let's see, Haru had to leave because of whatever reason.
He had to leave because they just didn't like him. There was no reason. He could have stayed in Rockford. He played for the Ice Hogs for a while. I have a Joker Ice Hogs jersey.
Adam Boquist had to leave to get
Wow.
Seth Jones, which they never gave him a chance at all. It's just
He was rushed. He had the Kirby Doc syndrome. Both of them were completely rushed into the
I love
NHL.
I love Kirby, but man, the Blackhawks have broken this kid. Like,
Look,
well, and we
he's-
were talking about it last episode, like the very few first round draft picks that are left in this organization. It starts at Kirby Doc. Like that's where we stopped losing first round draft picks.
oh
But-
brother.
When it comes to Kirby, last year he barely played because he had the broken wrist from the World Juniors, but like starting this year, most people are like, what is he? Because he doesn't score a bunch of goals and he can put up points, but they're kind of few and far between. But as the season has progressed, if you watch his defensive game, he has become so much better on the defensive side of the puck. And if you're trying to develop that next first line center that everybody wanted him to be to replace Taves once he leaves, but I guess the 1C is Dylan Strome, but whatever. If you want him to be the first line center, he's got to be somewhat responsible both ways, and he's really stepped up that side of his game, and he has started shooting the puck more as we've gotten toward the latter half of the season here.
He
I
had.
will
So-
say I yell at the TV much less at
Yes.
Kirby Doc, like, show the bug! What are
Exactly.
you doing? I yell
Yeah,
that a lot less now.
Mhm.
now it's just face-offs need a little bit of a.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like he needs to take face-offs with someone other than Taves
Mhm.
because,
Hmm.
like,
You
you're
can't just
just
keep
gonna
getting
lose
your
those
ass handed
face-offs.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah, like how about
Like-
you go against Dylan Strome or Tyler Johnson?
And
have,
Strome
like,
is pretty good at
Taves-
face-off, so that'd
Yeah.
be fine.
That's what. Yeah,
and have
exactly.
Taves stand over there and go, no, do this.
Yeah.
Not, I'm just gonna beat you 25 times at the face-off dot, and we're gonna call it a practice.
No, see,
Like-
that's what you call legit leadership.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
Blackhawks, I'm available if you're looking for somebody.
Maybe he does give Kirby tips while they're sitting there and he's just handing his ass to him. But what drives me crazy is, well, most of Twitter in general drives me crazy, but even from like people that have large followings on Twitter, whether they are legit media sources or not, and just the general fan base, everybody is so ready to write Kirby off and say that he is a bust.
Mm-mm.
What were you doing at 21 years old? This kid is 21 years old. He's 21. Not everybody comes into the NHL and they're Connor McDavid.
Not everybody comes in as a
21.
Patrick Kane
well,
Yeah.
or Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby.
I'd have
And
a,
even
Like,
Patrick Kane wouldn't shoot the puck when he first came into the league. He was much more of a setup guy.
yeah.
I mean, and the
And
thing
now
is-
he's back to being a setup guy with his
Hey.
58 assists. Like,
Yeah,
But the thing
You
with
gotta-
the thing with, the
gotta
thing
do what
with-
your body lets you do.
yeah. Well,
It's
the thing
true.
with Kirby too, I think that isn't this like his first normal 82 game season? Like
Yeah.
he's had we had the cutoff in 1920.
hmm
We had the shortened 2020 season,
And he
which-
was
And he was
concussed in
injured.
his first season because
Yeah.
of the prospect tournament.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
in
yeah,
Michigan.
the prospect tournament got the concussion, broke his wrist in a preliminary game at the World
Mhm.
Juniors first game. So like he
This is the
hasn't
first
really
time he had a training camp.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, this is his first normal full season since he came to the Hawks, and he's almost pretty much done with his ELC already.
Yeah.
Like it's like the last season was almost like a fever dream because of the fact of how short it was, but it's
Mhm.
yeah,
And
you-
he, like I said, he barely
he
played.
barely played.
Last
That's what I'm
season,
saying,
he
it's-
got 18 games. And the season before that, it was 64. He's already played the most now at 65 than he has.
and that's
in
like
previous years.
he's like you have to give him. And the thing is, he's gone through how many coaches now too? I mean, he's gone through Colleton, which we all know how that played out because look at how good Dylan Strome is now because he's actually
Look.
getting a chance to do something. But even with Derek King,
Uh-oh.
it's oh man, it's,
You have crossed a line.
oof.
Courtney
All
is
I
a
want to
Colleton
say-
fan.
Look, if he's fired, whatever, I can agree with that because things weren't going well. Throughout Taves' entire career in Chicago, we just celebrated his 1000th game. The entire narrative around him is he has been a slow starter. So, what makes people think that's not the same fucking thing with Dylan Strome? That he was just a slow starter?
Exactly. I mean, he was killing him in Arizona, and then he came over and he was doing pretty decently with the Hawks. And then,
Well, him and Cat together are magic. I mean,
the line of DeBrincat, Stromer, and Kaner has to stay together next season. Like you can't
Best
break
points.
those. You can't break those guys up. Like Dylan Strome's on a complete heater right now. DeBrincat's like 11 goals away from 50. I thought he was above 40, but I don't know what
I mean,
twilight
that's
zone I'm
if-
living in.
that's if Dylan Strome stays.
Which
Because
it's
this is
rumored
his
that they
last
might
year.
not even
He's an
re-sign
RFA.
him. Which
What?
if they planned on not
What?
re-signing him, like if they knew that,
They should have traded him.
they
when his-
should have
when-
traded him because
His-
his value's never going to be higher than it is right now.
Yeah,
Especially with the heater he was on. I mean,
Mhm.
still kind
he-
of is on too. Like he
his,
hasn't really-
play before the trade deadline was like, well, Stromer's playing for a trade right now.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh no, we're gonna keep him, and you're like,
And yes, he's having a fantastic season now. And maybe Jeremy just wasn't the coach for him. That could also
Yeah.
be true. Like not every coach is good for every single player. That's totally fine. But
You mean like our previous coach prior to Colleton with anybody who was under the age of like 24?
yep.
I mean,
Yep, that.
and the other thing with Carlton too is the fact that his system doesn't work in the NHL. Like it was
What has changed? What has changed?
nothing.
Well, we're having fun now,
good?
guys.
Is the
We're having
defense good?
fun.
Somebody
No.
fucking tell me if the defense is good, because that's what everybody complained about under Jeremy, is the defense sucks.
It still sucks.
Are
It's
they
still-
good
Still
now?
sucks. No,
Oh, it's still trash.
unless your name is Caleb Jones. You're not good at defense.
I feel bad for Jake McCabe, man. That dude deserves
Aw.
better.
He can't catch a break.
Jake
No.
McCabe deserves so much better, man. And I feel bad for this rookie we got too, Vlasic.
Oh, Alex. Pickles.
You healthy scratch this kid for 5 games behind Eric Gustafson, which still blows my mind that we brought him back for whatever reason. And you bring him
Stan
back.
Bowman.
You bring
That's
him
the reason.
You bring him back after 5 healthy scratches, and what do? You give him 1 minute and 22 seconds in the first period, and you give him 7 total for the entire game after sitting him for 5. Oh, we're trying to bring him in to give him experience.
Good development coach, right?
Yeah. So
Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Welcome
is
to
this
Derek
Derek King's last year with the organization?
I hope so, because he is not a coach for a rebuild. He's not.
No.
He's like, and the fact that the Ice Hawks have gotten better without him, that should say something.
Guess what team never made the playoffs under Derek King? Guess who's in a playoff spot?
I mean, evidence presented. Jury, please go deliberate. Oh, wait. Yeah, so that says something.
Yeah, and the fact that the stuff he says in his press conferences doesn't make it better either, because it basically makes you want to throw things at the wall.
At least it wasn't too many men.
Well,
guess how
what
many
happened
they've had
last night?
since that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they had one in the game before that too. Like,
Oh, you want to know what we lead or we're tied for the lead in the league for right now?
too many men.
Too many men on the ice penalties. Nothing else.
And like, this isn't just a Derek problem, because it was also a thing under Q. And
Yeah.
like,
This
I
is-
very
this is the
distinctly
Blackhawks problem.
remember that being a thing under Q. It probably was under Jeremy as well. It's just
Yeah.
not ringing
It's
in
a-
my brain.
We've never
it's a-
counted well.
It's
Yeah.
it's a Blackhawks problem. Like, it's basically what it is.
But at what point, like, if we keep having all of these issues and we've had 3 different coaches,
Where is the who struggles with counting? Who can't remember? Wait, look, I guarantee you it's because nobody can remember what line they're on.
also that.
Because this has been a curse in Chicago. The lines change sometimes several times during a game.
Okay.
Oh, I think it was the last game. I think I saw at one point they did the DeBrincat Tays Kane line. Like, that line has never worked.
Never.
Why are we going to the kamikaze? This is our last ditch
Yeah.
effort, and it
Like,
never works.
People
ever.
are always like, play Taves and Kane together.
It doesn't
Like,
That
work.
hasn't worked since 15.
There's a reason that they don't play together, and then they throw them out there as like this nuclear option, and sometimes they do make something happen because they're Patrick fucking Kane and Jonathan Taves. Like, they're gonna make goals happen sometimes, and then people are like, see, that's why you put them out there together. But
Oh,
they
I mean,
ignore the 55 other minutes where it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one time it's worked compared to the other 40-something games they've tried that and it just doesn't happen? It's just
It's what drives me mad about Blackhawks fans in particular. It's like one thing that happens that justifies their stupid take, and they're like, see, it works. It works.
the thing for me is like, we really need to figure out this defense, because this defense is mind-numbingly just makes you just not want to watch, because it's so bad. Like,
Look, at least y'all didn't have to watch the Tampa Bay Lightning feed for the last game. I had to
Oh.
turn the game off. It was awful. Like,
Before we fully transition to defense, I just want to say one more thing about the lines, because going back to that Tampa game, one of the things that really messed with the Blackhawks was how great their passing was, Tampa, because those guys play together all the time. They know where the other one's going to be.
that's
they
what
have
line
insane
chemistry is.
chemistry.
Kind of like when Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat play together in overtimes, and all of a sudden it's just like there are 3 cross-ice passes and the puck is in the back of the net because they just know where each other are going to be.
Exactly. So when you keep mixing up these lines all the time, like,
it doesn't
how's
work.
anybody supposed to get chemistry with the other? And it's not like
mid-period line changes are my favorite. Like,
unless it's like the 3rd period and you really need some goals, and what you got going out there just clearly is not working.
Yeah.
Like,
stop fucking with the lines. You practice for a reason. And I'm pretty sure you don't practice 47 different line changes. You practice with your lines.
Right.
Derek King, that's just Chicago in general. That's the Chicago problem.
The Derek King experience.
Like, at the end of the day, no, this team is not good.
No, it's not.
They should be better than what we have seen.
Poor Marc-Andre Fleury. He's gonna have a losing record on the Blackhawks. Winning records everywhere else, but the Blackhawks.
Welcome to our life.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for Fleury. He's smiling more now. He's having more fun in Minnesota. You're like,
he's still wearing his same Chicago Blackhawks pads. He just put green pad tape over them.
Still wearing the very awesome mask that he has because those take forever.
But it has
to
a
get done.
Minnesota Wild logo on it now.
We were blessed to have him for a couple months.
I love
very lucky.
And he said Chicago treated him well. So
I love Flowers.
And honestly, they communicated with him well in the trade.
Imagine the Chicago Blackhawks communicating with anybody.
Shocked. Maybe we are going to win the right way now.
Taylor Radish and Boris Kachuk, who doesn't want to be here. Yep.
Bless you.
Winning the right way.
I love when we get a guy who doesn't even want to be in Chicago. And yeah, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up because your thoughts on our beloved bagel, which still, your video was right though. Like this and this, we talked
about your video on our last episode about how you can understand the trade, but you can still not love the trade. Those two things can be
concept,
right?
It's a great concept. Like it's if anyone who's listened to the episode, make sure to please subscribe to Courtney's podcast and her YouTube channel because they're actually really good. Like it's actual good hockey takes.
Yeah.
But this trade, and the thing that hurts worse is the Blackhawks tweeted the empty net goal and they put a broken heart emoji in it, and I'm like,
broken heart and a bagel, and it's just like, why you got to do this to us?
But also, Lank stopping him with an amazing save.
That was nice, beautiful.
That was a nice save, but
that was gorgeous.
But your thoughts on the trade, for those who don't know your thoughts on the trade, because you've been on a really spicy mood since that trade happened.
We love it.
Been.
We're here for it, though. I mean, we're not upset by it. We're here for it. So
it still doesn't make sense in my brain. Again, like I get why they did it because they wanted to get the 2 first-round draft picks, and if somebody's going to offer you 2 first-round draft picks and 2 prospects for mostly 1 player, we did send 2 fourths the other way, which people just conveniently seem to forget about. Let's all just take a minute to remember that Brandon Hagel himself was a 5th-round pick. Braden Point was a 3rd or a 4th-round pick. Isaac Phillips was a 5th-round pick. Pekka fucking Rinne was like a 7th-round pick. So we still sent 2 draft picks their way.
Yeah.
Which in the Lightning system could turn into phenomenal hockey players.
And ours could be Mark McNeil and Nicholas Beaudin. Like, those were 2 first-round draft picks, and one of them was horrible, and I couldn't wait until they sent him off to Texas to get Johnny Oduya back. And Nick Beaudin was a healthy scratch last night, and it was the most fun I've had watching a fucking Ice Hogs game in a long time. Because he takes the dumbest fucking penalties, and I never know what he's trying to do out there.
Yeah. Well, it could also turn into a Joker or a Boquist. And now we don't have a GM who's going to trade away every first round draft pick he's ever made.
We don't know that.
Hopefully.
We don't know that. Just like we don't know who we're going to draft. We don't know who Tampa is going to draft, but we knew what we had in Brandon Hagel. And
he was third to the team in goals. Like, what are we doing?
Second.
Second in goals.
He beat Patrick Kane to that 20-goal mark.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, this guy brought hustle this is a guy you need for a rebuild. And like, we're gonna go trade him for two guys where one of them doesn't even want to be here and the other one is kind of good, I guess. It's like,
I mean, Radish has done very well since he got here.
Yeah,
honestly, this is also
can
true.
You blame Boris though, going from a team that's won back-to-back championships to the Blackhawks?
Absolutely not. It was hilarious, and I'm glad he said it. But at the same time, I was like, maybe don't say that.
Yeah, there's been
a lot of maybe don't say that moments this season.
It's true. You didn't have to say it, but it's true. It's just But why Brandon Hagel?
What also drives me nuts is I don't know where just the collective hockey brain has gotten it into said brain that Hagel is just some fourth line, maybe third line grinder. He has produced every single place he has gone. Yeah. He had a 102-point season in junior. Like, why is he just some guy who can't keep this up?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
After he started scoring last year, it took him a while. He was a fucking rookie. Once he started scoring, guess who kept scoring? Guess who was scoring overtime winners to get your team some wins in a very lost season? Guess who was
also fun? Like,
he actually likes bagels.
He likes everything bagels.
He's everything bagels. I mean, it's just like I said, perfect guy for a rebuild. Second on the team in scoring, like this team struggles already to score goals, and you get rid of your second best goal scorer, which could easily help you for next season.
Who wasn't even consistently getting first line minutes. Like, he wasn't getting the same minutes that Alex DeBrincat is, and I'm not here saying that he is a better goal scorer than Alex DeBrincat.
No, I mean, when Alex DeBrincat's got 39 goals, which I would love to say he was going to hit 50, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But I mean, it's Alex DeBrincat.
It's Alex DeBrincat. You never know. Cat does cat things.
Yeah, true. But
go off.
Hey, 11 goals with 13 games left. It's doable. I mean,
that's very doable for Cat.
Yeah.
If he does it, then my prediction was spot on, and I'm gonna just do a victory.
He made a prediction before the season started that Cat would have 50 goals this year. So I'm not gonna lie, Zach. I will give it to you if he hits like 48, 49.
That's not 50.
No, I don't want credit if he hits 48. Okay. I can at least say, hey,
I'm trying to be kind. Because with the number of assists that he has, that's the only reason I would give it to you if he hit like 48, 49.
I would just be like, you know what? I tried. I mean, I'd be more of like, you know what? I tried. He got close, but I didn't get it. But at least, it made it interesting.
It was because they traded Brandon Hagel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he would have 45 right now if they didn't trade him.
He'd probably have 50 already.
We were all three on pins and needles after the Hagel trade when during the trade deadline, things are happening and Kane and DeBrincat were both like, if he leaves, I leave. If I leave, he leaves. And it's like, I'm sorry, please don't do this to me. Like,
yeah.
If we lost DeBrincat and Kaner.
I was fully expecting Cat to get traded.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that comment was like, just kidding. He's no longer on the market, guys.
Like, how much do you really want to test this after everything on ice that you have put Patrick Kane through in his career in Chicago?
Yeah.
You're one of our best scorers.
The best, most consistent center he played with was Artem Anisimov.
Wow. Wow.
Like,
oh, man.
We've had Artem Anisimov. We've had Brad Richards. We've had Michael Handzus.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure Patrick Sharp was centering him for a while.
Didn't John Madden center him for a little bit too? Didn't John Madden center as well? Oh,
I feel like there needs to be an article somewhere of
there is
the guys who centered Patrick Kane.
No, there is. Mark Lazarus has done that article.
Really?
on the Athletic. Oh yeah, every center that Patrick Kane's been with for the Blackhawks, he wrote an article about it. It's on the Athletic. I remember that one dropped because it was
I must have
Courtney.
missed that
Courtney,
one,
you
'cause I
know,
have
because
the-
you have the Athletic, right? Like
Mhm.
Deal.
you know,
Yeah.
that article was
And,
eye
like,
opening. It's like, oh
Anisimov
boy.
was his most consistent and longtime center because they had Panarin on the left wing.
Oh, imagine
Like-
that.
Oh, you want to talk about a trade that I really hate?
Like, imagine if he had line mates that he's had throughout his entire career. It's never been consistent. And still, he has just shut up and gone to work every single night. And now I don't blame him if he was just done. If he was like, I finally have another guy who I can pass the puck to and he can score goals reliably. If they traded him, I wouldn't blame Kane for being like, I'm done. I can't do this.
No.
I
Anymore.
waive my full no trade clause. I want out of here soon. Like,
Send
trade me
me
out soon.
wherever you are sending DeBrincat. Make the money work.
Make the money
retain half my salary and let's just get this done. Because the Panarin trade. Oh, I mean, I told Beth, I like Brandon Saad, but
he's not
Not
somebody you trade Panarin for. And that's not even one that I've been the most angry about. And I don't really.
There's been so many trades. I
don't really know why. Maybe it's because it was like, wasn't it the same day that Hjalmarsson got traded?
I think
yes,
Yeah.
and that one hurt them. Oh, that one hurt a lot worse. I love Hjalmarsson. No,
He's
how
my
about
first favorite player.
I still need to get a Hammer jersey because he's fantastic.
I just found the Athletic article.
Seth Jones should have never touched 4. I'm going to put that out right now.
Right?
Hjalmarsson.
How fucked up is that?
His jersey needs to get retired. Three cups, and the fact that he blocked a bazillion shots, like his number should never get touched.
A true defensive defenseman, and now is on a moldy piece of Swiss cheese.
And now we have a non-defensive defenseman.
He's always just stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
he's not an offensive defenseman.
And
he's not a two-way defenseman. He's not a defensive defenseman. So what are you, Seth Jones?
A pylon?
He doesn't know.
He's
That's
a pylon.
Why he's stuck in the middle of nowhere all the time.
We need
and
that shopping cart. Why is he the Ice Hogs that had the shopping cart at practice? We need the shopping cart out there, guys.
My thing is, like, why is he so afraid of playing the far post defense? Like,
I don't know.
Ask every goalie that has played for the Blackhawks this season how angry they are about that.
But going back to the trades real quick, how about Robin Lehner? Trading him for some prospect, whatever. I don't even know what happened to the prospect.
Demon. He was playing in Colorado College, or not Boston.
What happened?
Colorado
to him?
College or Denver.
I've heard nothing about him ever since that trade. I've heard nothing about this kid since that trade. And then,
can we talk about how the Robin Lehner traded basically turned into we traded Robin Lehner for future considerations?
Could you imagine this team with Robin Lehner and if we somehow got Marc-Andre Fleury
no more great goaltenders. We need to rebuild.
Yes.
No more goalies.
We need baby goalies.
This dead team to victories and taking points where we don't need them. We need to rebuild.
We need baby goalies. We need to rebuild.
No, I
know. No more imagining, Zach. We are done imagining. No more.
No more.
I just like why we get rid of Robin Lehner? Like, you could have cut both him and Crow for the rest of the season.
The second they didn't re-sign Crawford, they should have gone into a rebuild, which was what they said they were doing, and then Seth Jones.
Stan Bowman does not know how to rebuild teams. He is not his father. He has never been his father, and he had no idea what he was doing.
His father should have pretended to be Stan. Be like, hello, this is Mr. Bowman calling.
There you go.
It's just...
Stan, sign this. Stan, sign this.
I can't believe 8 years at 9.5 starts next season. Like, we haven't even gotten into that contract yet, and it's already, like, mind-numbing me of just... Why?
When it comes to Seth, it's not even the fact of having him anymore or the trade itself that upsets me. It's just that fucking contract. He hadn't played a single game for you.
Yeah.
Like that's top 15 defenseman money. Like you gotta be the number one dude on your team. That's a 1D money.
He's
Top
playing
15 in the league.
1D minutes.
Oh, he's playing 1D minutes, but he's not a top 15 defenseman in the league. That's top 15 defenseman money.
And sometimes
he wasn't doing that in Columbus.
Sometimes he'll come out of nowhere and make a great defensive play, taking a puck off the goal line so it doesn't go in for a goal. Everybody gets
need more than sometimes.
That's so far few and in between. And it's just, and the thing was though, like even in Columbus, he struggled when Zach Werenski was out. Okay, but like, why you traded almost the farm and you gave him a ridiculous, like an extra $1 million, $1.5 million too much, and a year or two too long. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, the GM's no longer here. Now we're in a rebuild with an anchor of a contract.
He's going to be 35 or 36 when that contract is finally done.
He's not going to play here for that entire contract.
He's going to be gone. He's going to be gone way before that contract.
Who's going to take the contract?
No, but the Leafs just took the lead again. Anyway, nobody might take it, but somehow, some way,
unless you find a sucker who's going to unless you retain half and give it to someone else.
He is going to be shipped off to Robidaw Island with an injury, and he's never going to play again at some point.
Oh, are we going to get like Rick DiPietro'd with the Seth Jones contract, where we just pay him money for the next 30 years?
No, because they bought out Rick DiPietro.
No, I know that. No, I know
that was their fault.
No, I know that. No, I'm just saying, are we going to hit a potential like Rick DiPietro situation with the Blackhawks? Where it's like, Seth, we're just going to pay it. We're going to buy your contract. Just get out of here. We don't want you.
No buyouts. I would rather have Seth on the ice for those 9 years than do a buyout, because that would be
just trade him to retain half.
I just want to know if Arizona is on his no trade list.
They have to be. They have to be.
Which is sad, because it would have been a great trade deadline acquisition for the Coyotes.
Oh
maybe one of these days, the Dallas Stars, I mean, their team is rather old as it is. Mm-hmm. Maybe they will one day turn into a pseudo Arizona Coyotes, and once all of these guys retire, exactly. He's from Texas. He lives there in the off season,
so he should go home
down to Dallas. We'll keep Caleb.
I mean, what if the Coyotes moved to Houston?
I mean, they would need a franchise player.
They would, and a good old Texas boy would be perfect.
Exactly. So maybe that will happen. But the contract that somehow drives me even more crazy than Seth Jones, and I don't like to say it because of things that have happened this season, is Connor Murphy.
Yeah.
The extension.
4 years! 4 years! He had a contract coming into this season. There was no reason why they had to extend him for 4 years before the season even started.
I will say he has ate a lot of pucks this season.
Guess what? Seth eats a lot of minutes. I don't want either of them on the blue line because they don't do anything particularly well.
Connor Murphy's biggest issue is he lays down to block a shot way too soon.
Yeah.
Like, he's on the ice and the guy's like, okay, bye. Like, you gotta wait till he's actually like winding up to take the shot before you Superman yourself onto the ice. Like,
and he's really injury prone too, which is really sad to say, but it's just
he is.
Keeping him healthy is a problem.
I've defended him before this season because he has been a pretty stable defenseman back there for the Blackhawks on a very bad defensive roster.
Yeah. Let's see, that leads the league multiple seasons with the most chances given up. Yep, sounds about it.
Right, but if he's your best defender on a bad defensive team, like on a good team, he wouldn't be there. So
he would be like that fourth. He'd probably be in the top 4, but he's like that fourth guy. He wouldn't be your number one.
He would not be in the top 4. Could you imagine him on the top 4 in Tampa?
Whew.
No, not a chance. No.
In Vegas?
Top 6, and he's like 6.
Exactly.
He
Which
is
is
a
fine.
third pairing.
Which is
man.
fine.
Which is totally fine because you need those guys. You need
Yes.
a third pairing. Not
need a
at
grinder
$4 million
third
for 4 years.
Yeah,
No.
you need a grinder on the third line that's going to eat pucks and stop chances. And
this defense, like I said, like Jake McCabe, I feel bad for him. What he is Caleb Jones is somehow doing good. The fact that Caleb Jones at one point had more goals than his brother, and you're just like the guy
That
we're
was
paying.
beautiful.
Better than Seth.
Yeah, she did. And also, she referred to Caleb Jones as the pooper scooper.
I did.
To Seth Jones poop.
Because he's the shit shed.
Yeah,
because shit shed, and we had a pooper scooper.
The fact that we had to trade Duncan Keith to get Caleb to go get Seth, and Caleb has been playing better than Seth.
No, we had Seth before Duncan or before Caleb.
No, we got Caleb first.
Did we?
We got Caleb first, and the
this
Duncan
whole
Keith.
summer's a blur.
No, I don't remember. Yeah, no. Caleb.
I just remember that because people were like, "Oh, they got Caleb because they want Seth Jones." I was like, "No, they don't. No, that this isn't.
No, we don't.
They just wanted Caleb, so they got Caleb. This isn't happening, and then it happened."
I actually wrote an article about that trade about getting Caleb Jones because I'm like, because there's the potential of them going against Seth because everyone knows if you get Caleb, you're going to get Seth. It had to be the Blackhawks because all it was Duncan Keith.
Look, that trade looks great.
Oh, I'm not upset by it. I mean,
that
trade looks phenomenal right now.
Oh, it's fun.
Everybody's gonna be like, look at Stan Bowman. He fleeced teams. I'm like, yeah, one time.
I mean, Kubalik for a 5th was
But also like
Kubi's had a rough season, but yeah, no, that was a great trade.
Maybe if he was used right, he would score goals.
Exactly.
Why is he not on the first power play unit?
I don't know. Why is Eric Gustafson on the power play unit?
Why is Seth Jones on the power play?
He's not an offensive. He's not even an offensive defenseman. Why do we have a defensive defense? Well, sorry. Why do we have a pylon on the power play?
Also,
Derek King is the head coach. That's right.
All he does is defer to Kane. That's it.
When we go to overtime,
oh gosh,
please explain to me why your line is not Patrick Kane, Alex DeBrincat, and I don't know at this point Connor fucking Murphy. Because what other competent defenseman did we have?
Maybe
Caleb Jones.
Next season.
Just put Caleb Jones on the power play at this point.
There you go.
He actually shoots the puck.
Yeah, that's why he had more goals than his brother for a while.
And he makes like how much less?
What game was it? Significant. LA? Maybe it was against LA. When
it was LA. Yeah.
Caleb shot the puck and the rebound went to Strome, who just shot it into the wide open net.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine what happens if you shoot the puck. Yeah,
Shoot
he makes like 10 times less than his brother, and he has more goals.
He makes under $1 million. But next season, because I can't have it happen this season. I don't think it even can because he wasn't called up. But
I think it's an
Ian Mitchell.
Caleb Jones is an RFA at the end of this season, so
hopefully they re-sign. I mean, they've got to re-sign him. They have Seth until fucking eternity.
Yeah.
But Ian Mitchell.
We need Ian Mitchell. We need
a very, very strong candidate to run the power play.
Yeah,
because he's got a bomb of a one-timer, and he's got maybe the best hands on the Ice Hogs, a team that has Lucas Reichel. He might have the best hands on the Ice Hogs. He scored not shorthanded. He came out of the box last night, and I forgot who fed him, but they found him with the puck just as he was coming out of the box. In on a breakaway, he had the fanciest little stick moves and just tucked it right past the goaltender for a goal. I was like,
we like fancy stick moves.
What? But he has money in the shootout. He scores every time.
I was just on Cat Friendly, and I feel really bad for Boris Kachuk because he still has like 2 seasons after this on his contract, and he does not want to be here.
Oh, buddy.
Well,
trade
we could get a draft pick.
Trade
yeah,
bait.
We could get a draft pick for him.
We could get a draft pick. We don't have a 4th or a 5th this year.
Yeah, he's signed through 23-24.
Oh, buddy.
he don't want to be here.
Oh,
So
buddy.
I feel like we're avoiding this last topic, but we have to talk about the captain.
Before that, can we talk about the quick just screw job that Philly had for Keith Yandel? Like,
I'm so irrationally angry about this. And
Like-
I have no investment in Keith Yandel or the Flyers or
None.
Arizona. or
11
Arizona.
games. 11 games.
That's all he needed to hit 1,000. Like 1,000. Like, can you imagine someone saying, "Yeah, I played in 1,000 straight NHL games"? Like,
No, because I don't know very many people who have done it.
no one has done that. I mean, you have had guys who played over 1,000 games, but 1,000 straight. Like,
Yeah.
talk about how milestones with the silver stick and everything else for the fact that you've had an
Yeah.
Ironman streak that long.
You
Like,
better get him a platinum stick if he played 1,000 games in a row. Maybe that's why Philly did it. They didn't want to fork out the money.
and the next best is Phil Kessel at 968. Like, at least
Yeah.
Phil
thing
might do
is,
it.
It
It was an organizational decision to sit Yandel. You sit him now?
And they are currently losing to Toronto 5-3 with 6 minutes left.
Oof.
Like, you're not making the playoffs. Like,
Right.
why don't you just let him get his 1,000-game Ironman streak and end it
If-
there? Like,
If
how
you
does
want
an
to get
organizational
other
decision-
defensemen into the lineup, dress 7D. Philly sucks. Why does it matter?
Dress
They're not
70
trying to make the
or
playoffs.
Scratch somebody else.
But the thing is, an organizational decision. That's your reason?
Right.
With
He's a
11
healthy
games-
scratch.
With 11 games left, and you're gonna sit him right
That's
before
such a Philly thing. Like, let's be honest.
And a Mike
No.
Babcock thing. It
Yeah.
has nothing
Yeah.
to do with Philly, but
Mike
how he
Madonna should
screwed over Madonna.
that he should have gotten his
and-
1,500. He should have gotten his 1,500th game. That was an absolute joke. But
And how
Yeah.
he scratched Jason Spezza on the first home opener he had with the Toronto Maple Leafs, his hometown team.
no,
Let's
that
not
was,
even talk about what he did to Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Poor Mitch.
Talking about on ice things here.
Poor Mitch, man. That's just
So,
hey,
but
Mitch Marner. Dude,
we are an anti-Philly podcast. I'm pretty sure we all agree to the phrase "fuck Philly."
pretty much.
So
I
All
wish
right.
Carter Hart would escape because I like Carter Hart.
I
had a
love
hat.
I love Carter Hart.
I just
I
like
I
young
can't say his
goaltenders.
name right.
Kind of hat.
Had a hat. He just feels like he's like that. That's just it.
Yeah.
Even
right.
during the pregame, they had, I think it was Jans, they had mic'd up the other night. And he was like, "All right, Kata." I
You got to love Yans, but all right. So you want to do this last topic because
Yeah.
mm,
So congratulations, Jonathan Taves, on your 1,000 games played.
whoa. I mean, and plus also on brand for the Hawks, they don't show up on a milestone night.
They lost in Florida 4-0.
Shut out.
Shut out by
So
the Panthers,
you know,
who
out.
barely won against the New Jersey Devils.
Yep.
it reminds me of Patrick King getting his 1,000 against Dallas and didn't show up in that game either.
We have
To be
issues with
fair-
ceremony games.
Bobrovsky did have to make some massive saves in that game.
True.
So it's not like they just
but-
didn't show up at all. But obviously they weren't good enough. But
I mean,
they did have some quality chances, and Bob was just better. But they should have at least gotten one.
Basically, the Hawks got goalied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do we feel about some of his recent comments in regards to his future in
I'm-
Chicago?
I'm very torn on the topic because I appreciate the honesty for once from a hockey player.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it's also possible that it was just too close to the trade happening. And maybe he was very upset about it. Nobody wanted to see Bagel go. And
No.
things have been very shitty for this team for a few years now, just on the ice, strictly on the ice speaking.
Yeah.
And so losing a guy like that, who everybody said, this is how we want to play going forward. This is the type of player that we want. They all loved Bagel. They were all good friends. Maybe that one did really hurt more than some of these other moves have. because at least some of the other moves Chicago has made have been more you could understand. Yeah, you could understand them more. Not all of them, obviously, because it's a slew of things that stand out that didn't make sense. But this one really didn't make sense because they're trying to rebuild and got rid of a very good 23-year-old player
Yes.
for some unknowns. So maybe it was just like a final straw type of thing. And he was like, I'm done sticking up for this stupid organization. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not even just recently. It seems like all year he's been on a whatever you want to call it in terms of his comments. It's been
very pissy with the media. To
Yeah.
use
I'm surprised no one's asked him why he's so pissy.
It started over the summer even. So none of it's really been a surprise. But saying that with this team going into a rebuild and him being the captain, that's not the type of attitude you want around these young guys that you're bringing into the organization.
Yeah. No, and especially with how, after Stan Bowman got fired, he wasn't really too thrilled about that, but that was a shit show.
He still hasn't apologized or rolled back any of those comments. So Kane did.
Yeah,
honestly,
talk about
interviewing
the emotional...
Kane in COVID protocol after that happened. It's like, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, at least he was in protocol. He had contact with very few people when all of this was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then he rolled it back and he was like, what I did was wrong. And I'm sorry.
Yep.
Continue on.
Talk about a character arc for Patty Kane.
We love Daddy Kane. Like, Papa Kane is the best.
Maybe Taves needs to have a kid because once Patty had a child,
everything changed. Now he passes the puck.
Yeah, he became this super responsible person. Seemingly. Yeah. Who knows? But
yeah, it's just Taves, man, like I appreciate what he's done for the team, but the last 2 seasons, it's been, I don't know what's been going on. Like,
yeah,
it's been really tough to be like, do you want him around here in Chicago right now with its rebuild starting? Because
it was interesting last year when I didn't miss Taves when he just wasn't there because he was sick.
I didn't miss him. There were times where like something happened on the ice and I was like, ooh, it would have been really good to have like angry Taves there.
Mm-hmm.
But not like Captain Taves. Like I wanted like angry, punch this guy in the face Taves.
Right. Which
even then you don't really want Taves going into a fight with someone because
no, please stop fighting people.
Protect your brain.
Going out with concussions.
It's just I like him, but it's like this past year, it's just since last summer, it's been just a mental like why. Like
he hasn't shown anything public facing that is captain material.
No,
maybe in the locker room he is, and that's why he's still the captain, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. It doesn't matter what we think, it matters what his teammates and the organization thinks. But when he's coming out and saying things that allude to him not knowing if he wants to be here and stuff like that, you don't want that around young guys and your prospects, because attitudes spread in the locker room. They just do. You're around each other all the time.
And the thing too, it's like, what's been his thing since he's been in the league? The captain of captains, the epitome of what a captain is. And it's like, Captain Serious, he hated that nickname, but like he was, and that's what he was known for, to being the captain. He's one of the top 100 greatest NHL players of all time, and
but we found out recently that a lot of that, can you be the captain of all captains and Captain Serious and the player's captain and have what transpire and have you know about it and do nothing.
Yeah. That's a whole we're gonna have to do a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother like 6 hours of podcasting, because we could talk about that
bring Courtney on for another eepisode that's like 4 hours deep. Just go full center ice mode.
I don't know how many times I've talked about this.
Yeah.
I really
At the end of at the beginning of the
I-
episode, it's just going to be 6 hours later from SpongeBob. Like,
to be honest, I really don't want. I talked about it on other podcasts. I really don't want to go over that again because it's been a lot. But
yeah,
it's just
if you want to hear me and Beth talk about it, we did a very long episode after Rocky's nonsense.
oh, that was a
man yells at cloud.
that was a great episode. I ate popcorn and just absolutely enjoyed it because it was fun. But
Yeah,
There was wine. There was anger.
multiple
There
bottles
was-
of wine. Multiple bottles of wine. Not just
we took a
wine.
break in the middle to get more wine.
we sure did.
But it's just, I guess I like Taze, but this past year it's just been rough to just be like, I want to enjoy you being back, but at the same time, I even told this to Beth too. Like, maybe it's time for him to go at the end of the season. Find a way to maybe take a retained half and let him just go somewhere else for the time being, or just write his contract out and just be like, all right, deuces, right? Because he's done after next season along with Canner.
Yeah, next season is their last year on this contract. So to eat $5 million of that is nothing.
I'd be okay with them retaining half and just being like,
It's not like we're going to be in cap trouble. We can't go out and sign all these big free agents. We're rebuilding, apparently. I'll believe it when I actually see it. But
before the season started, that if he finished this season, that he needed to retire.
But he thinks he still has the best hockey ahead of him.
But he doesn't. Like,
okay.
Where is it, Johnny?
It's hidden in his emotions, apparently.
But like, if he still has the best hockey ahead, where is it?
I mean, he scored a couple goals recently.
Yeah, but I'm not saying he is arguably one of the best face-off dot guys.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Period. But, I mean, what is he producing? He doesn't have a lot of points.
Also, they took him off of the first power play unit.
Yeah. He's not on the first power play unit. He doesn't have a lot of points. He's not producing at a level in which one would expect him to produce.
Not at the cap that he's taken either.
Yeah.
Look, that's just the Chicago special right now. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a Stan Bowman for you, but
he has 29 points this season. He has 10 goals and 19 assists in 58 games.
And he's playing top 6 minutes.
I give him some of that coming back, missing hockey for an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He is a
slow starter.
He's always been a slow starter, but he had some production and then slow started, had some moments.
And then
are we slow finishing?
Right.
Like I said, I hate to see him go because you wanted to see him be a Blackhawk for life, but if he is not all in on this rebuild for next season, I'd rather be like, all right, waive your trade clause, we'll send you somewhere else and we'll retain half of your contract and have to probably throw in some prospects and picks just to move it. But
nobody apparently wants him. There was all sorts of buzz and chatter about Kane moving.
This is the NHL. Deadline. I don't buy that. I don't buy that for 1 second.
Oh, I don't remember what I was listening to, but somebody was talking about how if he goes elsewhere, what does he do?
Who, Taze?
Yeah.
Face-off penalty killer guy. It's one season at $5 million.
Yeah, but
third line.
Yeah, he's not going to be the captain serious. He's not going to be this role player. He's not. What does he
look?
Third line guy who's playing on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what you give him.
I'd put him on the power play more than the penalty kill.
Well, I can win some faceoffs, but look, the Edmonton Oilers went out and got Evander Kane. I don't believe for 1 second nobody would take Jonathan Toews.
True, but Evander Kane, that's a whole nother.
It's overall, honestly, like I said, I don't want to see him go, but at this point, retain half, throw some extra spice and whatever you need to put on there to get rid of the contract, because I said I like the guy, but if he's going to be like this for a rebuild, I don't want that being the case for next season. Because if we're going to have like possibly Lucas Reichel at some point, or Isaac Phillips, or all these,
we
other
don't
guys
need that in the locker room.
I will
not
say,
right now.
Ask me my opinion again after the locker cleanout day when they have their press conferences with the media.
We're definitely
see what he says.
We're definitely going to bring you back on for the draft. And
oh yes, ma'am.
Basically, Courtney, just know that we're probably going to have you on multiple times on this podcast. So I hope you're okay with that.
Totally cool with that.
Yeah, because you're a friend of the show, friend in real life, so it just makes sense. So
it just works out. We like talking hockey together.
We like talking about hockey, WoHo and Blackhawks hockey. So I mean,
even though we don't usually enjoy talking about Blackhawks hockey,
it's true. That's why we have the joy and pain aspect of this podcast.
I mean, I could make it easier on both of you and just become, switch my allegiance from the Wolves to the Ice Hogs. We can just talk about the Ice Hogs.
Yeah, but then all of your Hurricanes friends would be pretty mad at you. So
I have more Blackhawks fans. Blackhawks.
I could rant about the Hurricanes if you want. Like, we could go there.
That's for his other podcast. You can rant about the Hurricanes on the Surgecast.
Oh, right. The Carolina fans aren't on this one.
No.
So they probably turned off at the end of the WoHo discussions.
Cool. So can people hold the same energy when they say fuck the Blackhawks for fuck the Hurricanes for signing Tony DeAngelo then?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Because everybody forgot about it. Nobody talks about it anymore.
Everybody's
like, oh my God, he's putting out points. Nobody talks about it.
I'm not a Tony. For the
Nobody
record, I'm not a Tony DeAngelo guy. So
nobody talks about it. But it's always fuck the Blackhawks, which we all agree with. We all agree they get all the criticism they deserve. But
now you have Max Domi and Tony DeAngelo on the same team. So
I need people to hold the same energy when their teams also do fucked up shit. Just like Montreal drafting Logan Mailloux. Nobody talks about it anymore. Nobody talks about it. Carolina Hurricanes signing racist Tony DeAngelo, who's racist because he's competitive. Nobody talks about that. Did we just forget that quote happened? That he's racist because he's competitive? Did we forget? Did we forget because he puts up points? We forgot that Tony DeAngelo is racist because he is competitive. Because he puts up points and he's a white boy. We forgot. We fucking forgot.
I mean,
these three people did not forget.
Guess who's not in the NHL? Joshua Ho-Sang. He puts up points, but guess what? He's not a little fucking white boy now, is he?
I mean, do you have a mic to drop?
I don't want to drop my mic.
Courtney is just all kinds of. We said we wanted the spice, and she's just like, you know what? Let me just crank this thing up to about 20 and just go off. I mean,
I need people to keep the same fucking energy about other teams.
No,
fuck the Blackhawks and everything they did wholeheartedly. Fuck them for all of that. But also, we can't just forgive Carolina for signing racist because I am competitive Tony DeAngelo.
I mean, ask Beth, when have I ever praised Tony DeAngelo on Twitter?
The only time he will talk about Tony DeAngelo is he will briefly mention him if he has an assist or a goal in an article that he writes. He has never been a TDA guy.
And I'll use his initials in a tweet. I won't even type his whole name out.
Is the conversation about them signing Tony DeAngelo still going?
Nope.
I haven't heard anything about a contract about him staying. I mean,
doesn't matter. I
hope they don't. But
they did it once, and everybody just stopped talking about it because he was producing points.
It's still very,
and he got off social media.
Well,
yes.
And the thing is, it's still a rift in between Carolina fans that there's still a lot of people who aren't happy about it, and there's some who are like whatever about it. But yeah,
no one is talking about it.
Whatever. This guy is racist because he's fucking competitive. But whatever, he scores points. He scores points.
I love you, Courtney.
Whatever.
This is why we love her, guys. If you've stuck in, this is why you need to follow Courtney on Twitter.
So back to my original question. Should I just move my allegiance to the Ice Hogs and we can just talk about them for a while?
put at the end of their season report that Kyle Beach was distracted by getting sexually assaulted, and that's why he sucked that season. So it's up to you. It's up to you.
It's dumpster fires everywhere, buddy.
Man, dude.
None of these teams are good. That's why it doesn't matter if you switch your alliance or not, because they're all pieces of shit. And all I want to do is have fun and enjoy hockey, but I can't because it is so full of shitty people. And that attitude is projected from our fucking captain, who said he was annoyed this summer when Kyle Beach was brought up. He was fucking annoyed.
So basically what you're saying is, Courtney, you wouldn't be upset if Jonathan Toews leaves the team at some point for the next year or two?
No.
It will be very weird from a fan perspective. But again, if he at no point walks that shit back, and he has had all season to do so. All season. This happened at the beginning of the season. Nobody remembers Patrick Kane being out of the lineup because of COVID protocol. That's when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walked it back a lot.
He
did. Apologized and everything for it.
He did.
And even said, Kyle, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. I'm so sorry that this happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
Et cetera, et cetera.
I
don't have the full quote in front of me, so I can't tell you all the things he said.
Because Patty Kane did say stuff to Kyle after everything happened too. So I mean, like during that season, so there was a lot that he admitted to and backed up. So I mean, at least Patty Kane came to a full character arc. But yeah, Jonathan Toews though.
Again, I've said this on From Sitter Ice, and I'll say it on every podcast when this is brought up, that it's hard for me to blame the players in 2010 because we don't know if it happened to anybody else.
Yeah.
We just don't. What we do know is that Captain Toews has had a pissy fucking attitude all season. And it started by being annoyed that Kyle was brought up in the summer. That's where it started.
Yep.
And it hasn't gotten better. And now he doesn't know if he wants to be with the team for a rebuild. And he can think about himself playing other places, which totally normal, totally fine. But go somewhere else then. Because you are the captain of a rebuilding team. And you need people committed to that rebuild.
Yeah, waive your full new movement clause and go somewhere else. And let the team retain half of your contract and have to throw some extra stuff on it to get rid of you because your contract is $5 million for 29 points.
You are always going to be a legend in Chicago. That's not going to change because of what you've done. And people will eventually only remember you for the 3 cups. So if you spend your last season somewhere else, if you think of Wayne Gretzky, what team do you think of? The Edmonton Oilers. You don't think of the LA Kings or the Rangers. You think of the Oilers.
I'm not going to lie. I think he also played Kings more than the Oilers.
Really?
Yeah. Mostly because that's really my core hockey memories are in the 90s. So, and I mean, as a kid, we had the Wayne Gretzky 1,000 pucks in the net, LA Kings jersey, 1,000-point poster.
Well, that makes sense.
So
let's also not forget that Wayne Gretzky was the St. Louis Blue at one point too.
I don't like to mention.
So was Martin Brodeur.
He's a Blues legend.
I don't like to mention that either. I really liked Marty. That's why I was originally a fan of the Devils, because I liked watching Marty, and now I have found myself back there again somehow.
I mean, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier.
Hughes. I can't. You talk about not being able to say Carter Hart's name. Right? I can't say Jack Hughes, right? It's always Jack Hughes.
Jacques Hughes.
It's like it's a French word.
It is. It means I accuse you in French.
Fantastic. I accuse him of being good at scoring goals.
Let's go.
I mean, it was against the Blackhawks. His walk-off stick toss into the stands. That was pretty epic.
I like to more so remember the recreation from the All-Star game.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was
recreation from the All-Star game.
Yeah, from dodgeball. That was great. But I mean, honestly, with Toews at this point, move on. I can't deal with it for another season. Like I said, I like Johnny. Well, what he did, but now it's
I'm good with Courtney's wait till the locker clean out presser, because he could roll everything back and be like, you know what? I was in a shitty place.
I mean, he
messed
was.
Up.
Oh yeah,
he was. Yeah, coming off of that full year of not knowing what was going on with his health, that's not by any means.
No, they'll put anyone who is not even a hockey player in a bad place. I mean, I get
Yeah.
that. So it's just
Exactly.
So if the end of the season he comes out and he's like, y'all, I'm sorry. I have not been in the right frame of mind. I was dealing with a lot. Not
That's
only
literally all it would take.
Yeah.
all he would have to do is sincerely apologize.
Yes,
And
and everybody
that
would
is
be
what
like,
it would take. Being sincere about
you can't
it.
just be like, I'm sorry guys, have a great summer.
Sorry
Like,
guys.
I'm out.
Yeah.
But
No.
Like he's signing somebody's yearbook in the year 2000, like, hags.
have a great summer.
we should hang out this summer. They never hung out that summer.
No.
They never hung out before or after.
Yeah,
right?
you're
I
just
feel like that's a voiceover. We should hang out this summer. They never hung out again.
They never hung out ever.
Right?
They were never heard from again.
Right?
Sorry.
Guys, I'm pretty sure our Wilhawks love us if they've made it to this point because we're 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Courtney, I know you have an Ice Hogs game that you would like to start watching here in a few minutes.
A very nice late one out in Tucson.
You were very specific that we needed to be done before puck drops, so we're going to get you there.
You did great.
Tell
you did great.
everybody where they can find you.
Oh gosh. All right. The Twitter for From Center Ice is where most of my horrible hockey takes take place. So that is at VF Center Ice Pod. Or if you want my personal one, it's at Courtney Dagger 50. Or just go to FromCenterIce.com. There's links to absolutely everything over there.
Perfect. Well, it was an absolute pleasure to talk with you.
Yes, thank you guys for having me on.
7 minutes till puck drop to get ready to go to change colors and swap out jerseys and do all the fantastic things that you do.
She got the Ice Sox jersey on already, so I mean it's pretty much.
But she's got those Leaf jerseys hanging on the wall.
Hey, they won. They won. Don't mess with what works.
They
were on the wall last night when the Ice Hogs won. So
okay, then leave them.
I think
leave them there because we are megastitious here, so it's totally understandable.
Well, you are, but let's see. The Hurricanes lost 3-1 to the Wild, so.
Oof. Oh, but they lost to Flower. Flower was in net.
Was he?
Oh, I give him that. Last time I checked, I think the Indy Fuel lost to the Toledo Walleye, so that's also unfortunate because Toledo.
So, Zach, where can our friends find you on the socials?
I mean, if you want to follow me, I don't know why you would for my ridiculous hockey takes or whatever. It's One True Zach. It's ONE. It's not like the Wonders or the Oneaters. If anyone's watched that thing you do, it's not that confusion. But yeah, it's just One True Zach. I'm pretty much on there. So if you want to deal with that, fine, go ahead. But Beth, where can they find you on the socials?
On the socials, you can find me on Twitter at WonderBeffers, and then of course you can find our podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Talk Whoa Hockey Pod. And you can send us questions, comments, concerns to our email, and it's letstalkwhohockey@gmail.com. So I think that's all we got today, guys. We're going to hit the 2 hour and 15-minute mark again. So if you've made it this far, nobody tweeted us last time. If you've made it this far, send us a tweet and let us know.
You know what? If you've made it this far, here's my challenge to you. Go on Twitter and remind everybody that Tony D'Angelo is racist because he is competitive and the Carolina Hurricanes signed him to a contract.
Courtney, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Gosh, that rant was just chef's kiss. Just like we said, we wanted the spice. Oh, we got it.
We got the spice. We like a spicy Courtney. So, guys, we will talk to you next week. Stay tuned for any potential guest announcements because, you never know. Maybe we've got something up our sleeves. And as always, it was great talking hockey with you both. I hope you have a wonderful evening. We look forward to seeing you guys next time.